Hey, everybody, it's Dan.
And Tom.
And this is kind of a new way we're going to start the show.
Yeah, we'll give you a little recap of the show. We just finished recording it.
Oh,
and
my God.
We'll let you know what happened. We had Seth Petrozelli in today and his good buddy, Filthy Tom Lawlor.
You didn't tell me that old Filthy Tom Lawlor was going to be stopping by, so we had both of them stop by. We go into a little bit something a little bit more personal. We kind of deep dive. It's not sad. You don't need to get
No.
We
It's actually hilarious.
Well, we
to me, not to you.
Yeah,
it's crippling to you.
It's hilarious to my family. But we deep dive a little bit into my anxiety, and we talk about the blood test I had last week. We even address the fact that you probably heard me a little lubed up last Friday because I was pounding the claws to try and escape something that many of you deal with every single day.
Yep, I have a business idea that takes advantage of your anxiety and hypochondria.
It's kind of fucked up.
We reviewed a porno that a listener sent you.
Hey, look, I'm going to do it. If you send me one, I'll review it.
We talked to Tom Lawlor about my legendary fight I had with him with the bloody underwear.
I mean, what would our show be without a sprinkling of Remember When? And we tried to decide if we're going to sponsor Seth for his hugging match.
Yep.
He's got coming up soon.
His next fight, and wait until you find out where his next fight's going to be. You'll laugh. But that all goes on today's show. And speaking of today's show, it's brought to you by our presenting sponsor, American Air and Heat.
Yeah, we're both kind of looking at new systems. Mine runs constantly, even right now where it's not even that hot. Like today, we're actually going through a bit of a dip.
Yes,
so the temperature's going to get a little bit lower here in Florida. And unfortunately, I think my system's a little too small for my home. I don't have a huge house, but it is a 4-story townhome. And as those stories go up, you only get heat. So that's why it has to run a lot.
And the new technology and the new systems that American Air and Heat have are super efficient. They're going to save you money over time.
Well, you need one way more than I do.
Mine's 10 years
old as hell.
And if you want a new system, they got 36 months, no interest financing. So you could literally buy it and pay it off over time, and it's going to end up saving you money. And they do it all. So you can go to AmericanAirandHeat.com.
AmericanAirandHeat.com?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
AmericanAirandHeat.com or American Air?
I'd say American.
American.
Yeah, American Air and Heat. I own a truck now, so I have to say America.
Well, absolutely.
Anyway, enjoy the show.
Yeah, here we go. So that was it. That's when we were supposed to come in, right there.
I like the shorter intro.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
I don't like it.
Should I do it again? That's it. We're in. We're into the show now. Rock and fire. Let's do it.
Anticlimactic.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Seth Petrozelli is here. What's going on, Seth?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
We have another guest.
Does it feel different?
It does.
No, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, too. I think you're making it weird.
Okay.
Daniel has been listening. He likes to listen to podcasts about podcasts.
Is it really, I wouldn't advise anybody do that unless you're into podcasting.
Well, it's good for our business. I'm listening to fucking gambling podcasts. What does that do? Nothing. It actually hurts our business because eventually they'll boil my feet.
I mean, we have a bit based around it. I mean,
it gives you good stories to talk about.
Yeah, it gives you some stories to talk about. But I've thought for a while now that the intro to the show has been a little bloated, and I like good production. I like the swoops and the swishes and the music and the
fart sounds.
I'm a big fan of all of that.
Me too.
But unfortunately, as things trend, I think that people just want to get to the nut. They just you guys just want to be entertained. You just want to do the show.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to take some getting used to, but I'm going to try and change some things. This one was kind of difficult. It would have been easier had I had all of the normal songs to play, like "Time for Bath," the heavy breathing of the old men, all of that. It's there. It's just I have 2 full terabytes of music now. I have to dig through by hand to find them. That's going to be fun. Yeah, thanks, Apple. Appreciate that. But anyway. Here we are.
Yep. Real quick, I will plug our Bad at Business Beer Fest and Sofa and Suds. It's November 23rd and 24th. I want to thank ABC and thehumidor.com, also At Home Floor Store, American Air, and White Claw for being sponsors. And it's really these both events are free. You could just show up. Obviously, for the beer fest, you got to be 21 and up, and you get a wristband, sample cup. We start pouring at 2. Get there early to get the wristband and sample cup. But it's a lot of work to make these events free, and the fact that we have to go out and find sponsors to help us pay for the cost of everything and the stage and the bands and the entertainment and everything that comes with doing these events. But I look at it this way: like our listeners, our BDMs support us, and this is the least we can do. Mm-hmm. Like if we can put in
100%,
if we can put in some more work to make these events free, at least you can show up and you're like, this is cool. I probably would have paid $10 to get in, but the fact that Tom and Dan put in the extra effort and the sponsors helped them pay for the event and it's free, it's like, okay, at least we could do that for you. And that's how we look at it. And that's why we keep doing these events for free, because we appreciate our listeners.
We hate money.
Yeah,
we also.
I do like it better though. It's more fun for me to invite people to something that's free. It was always weird. To like invite people and be like, come out to this thing, or how much are tickets? They're $25. Like, it's like, then why am I even inviting you? Fuck it. I'd rather
in regards to that, is it wrong for me when I throw my parties and I have?
No, you can do whatever you want. It's not wrong.
Well,
that's
like
you.
a house party?
Okay, yeah, I have a house party. But it's like, 70, 80 people there. So, and I have...
that's a big party.
And I have a bartender that I hire. And I say and in the invitation I say bring tip money for a bartender.
No, tip money's fine.
That's absolutely...
Really?
No, that's
I thought you were going to charge admission to your house party, and I was like, you're an asshole.
I'll go one further. You should not have to tell motherfuckers coming to your party to tip. Yeah. That's bullshit. Yeah. The fact that you have to remind them. A couple people yelled
at me for that. They're like, that's...
Well, you don't get invited.
I'm not going to come to a party and then tip, bring money for that.
That's a fucking bartender.
Yeah. You have to pay the person.
It's for the person that's making the party better. Who are these people? Let's call them.
Kill them.
I'll see him tonight. I'll tell him.
Yeah, tell him. That's an asshole move. That is an asshole move.
There's costs associated, large costs of putting on any event. So trying to get, luckily we have great sponsors.
Strippers are expensive.
yeah. Like ABZ that is helping us pay for these things. So also, speaking of our great partnerships, the Danger Brain, they rebranded Sofa and Suds for us. And by the way, if you have a company and your brand needs a refresh, they'll do an awesome job.
They will indeed.
And so they rebranded our Sofa and Suds for us, and it looks great. And I go to thedangerbrain.com if you're looking for any branding. But also I want to plug Melissa Soroka, and if you're looking for get your hair done or makeup,
it's get your hair did, sir.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw in this.
Did you pause on that because you thought if you said that A, you'd be a nerd, or B, you'd be a little racist?
Yeah.
Is that why you paused on it?
That went through my mind in a split
Rapid
second.
Fire.
And then I was like,
everything
just
you
say done.
It's either dumb or racist. It's a new game we're going to start playing.
Yeah. I have no other settings.
I have a game for today. I do have a game for today. It might be dumb or racist. We'll see.
So if you go to...
I don't want to play that game.
Because you're both. We got a double whammy.
Can you hit the double Jeopardy every time?
How many trips to Aruba can you win?
I'm not dumb.
He punches them.
I ain't dumb. I'm just racist.
Yeah, so that's what I was alluding to.
So if you go to her website, she's selling gift certificates for the holidays, and I'm going to throw in this for 1 week.
You're always throwing something in.
If you
buy the Melissa Soroka gift certificate, Tom Van will come and cut your hair.
Oh my God.
They don't even want that. They're like, I don't want that. I want the professional. No.
After Melissa does it, then Tom comes in.
I wrote it.
Fuck her hair up so bad. If I gave you a pair of scissors,
could I? No.
Could you?
I don't even understand how. Like,
don't bow out on the bet yet. I'm going to use Butler when he gets back from permanent vacation. I'm going to use his head. Can you cut Butler's hair?
Yeah,
because lately his wife is going to make him stop working.
Lately, he's been rocking the Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
The judge, the Honorable Judge Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends. What were his friends' names? Like Buffy and Biffy.
I like beer.
I like beer. Yeah, he's got the Kavanaugh now, and I feel like with a little bit of training from maybe John the Barber.
Yeah. Well,
I feel
one
like
YouTube video would be fine.
All right,
and if you gave me some clippers,
John's busy. You're right.
Think you could straight razor my head? Shave it?
well, there's just
Do not
shaving.
let him have a razor
I
to your
mean,
head.
straight razor.
Oh, yeah.
Besides, shaving a head is way different than shaving a face. Like it's a lot more. Like it's harder and
It seems easier.
bumps-
Well, the head is
No,
stretched tight. Your cheeks.
Yeah, but the bones in it is all like in the back area. It's hard to get.
You don't have one of those wheel things?
I was used to be sponsored by Headblade, actually.
Headblade, yeah, they got the wheel on
They
it.
sponsored me
Oh,
for
yeah,
2 of
yeah.
my UFC fights, and
I could shave your
Somebody
head.
sent me.
I sent them a video of me shaving my pubes with it, and they didn't like it.
You ruined your own sponsor. Why would you send that?
Because I was like, oh, you could use it. You could squeeze your nuts, and it looks like I have a head. So I was like, oh, it looks like a bald head, and I did my nuts with it. They knew my sense of humor before they sponsored me.
It's got
Just
bumps.
to recap,
Does your nutsack have like bumps on it?
What are you
It
doing?
looks like a
man?
brain.
When's the last time you went to the doctor? I do not have a bumpy nutsack.
I do. I went to the doctor because I had a bump on my nutsack. Remember I told that? And
It was a cyst, a sebaceous cyst. It probably got reabsorbed to your body.
Lipoma. It was a lipoma.
Lipoma.
Any,
You had
any
lipoma.
omos are not good.
Omas are bad.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to the beer
melanoma.
fest real
Sorry,
quick
sorry.
because I feel like we haven't mentioned it enough. You can pay $20 for the pint glass, and all that money goes to Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah.
So you get the bigger pour, you get the cool pint
100%.
glass.
We don't take a cut. Unlike other charity deals, not naming any names, but kind of where we came from, we got pissed and we're like, that's not really charity if you're taking a cut. All of this money goes to Yellow Brick Road. In fact,
We're paying
I
for
can't-
all the glasses.
I can't talk
to
about
donate
it
them
yet,
to
but
Yellow Brick.
we're doing something with Yellow Brick very, very soon. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
I'm pretty stoked about it. But
then back to Melissa Sorg. If you buy
yeah.
the gift card and send me proof that
sorry,
you bought
I'm excited to see you guys
it. Yeah,
today.
just
Tom will shave your nuts.
No, I will.
Your bumpy nuts.
I'll send your
A picture
address
of your bumpy nuts.
to our merch guy, and I'll send you a prize.
There you go. I wrote down some stuff to plug because I'm not good about this either. I'm trying to do some changes. I'm tightening up the intro. We'll see how it goes. I might add 2, but probably going to do more taken away. We're always on Twitch. We're on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. Also, YouTube, if you want to watch these Twitch videos a couple days after we release them, they're always on YouTube. They're always curated and edited, HD quality, color corrected. I actually go in and boost the sound a little bit, too, to make them sound really good. Find us on YouTube. Just search A Mediocre Time, like, and subscribe. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast. And follow us on the Instagram, at Mediocre Dan, at Mediocre Tom, and at Insta_Sam.
86.
And
At Silverback Seth.
at Silverback Seth, and at it's Insta_Sam86.
Yes.
Boom.
I'm old.
There you go.
So
You're not really old, but you do have a little bit of a creepy Instagram name.
I'm going to steal.
Why is it creepy?
Samantha, I'm
Well,
gonna make
anytime that
Samantha
people put the
steal a lot of her
numbers in
followers.
there and stuff, it makes me think of
I wanted just Insta Sam, but it was taken.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Daniel wanted to talk about this today. And
Well,
I'm glad
I mean,
Seth's here.
I think it's
here
important to
because-
talk about it. I don't necessarily want to talk about it, but I think it's good to talk about it.
And I got some theories, but Daniel was going through a rough patch in the past week, and especially last Friday.
Well, it's been longer than that because, I've been making life changes, and I've increased my exercise, I don't know, what's more than 0? A lot.
100%.
I do at least an hour every day.
By the way, literally 1 year from now, I was watching 360 Images did an awesome job putting together a promo video for a beer
I'm
fest.
so
and stuff like
fat.
that.
I'm so
and seeing
fat.
that, I was like, "Whoa, Daniel's way bigger a year ago. He lost a lot of weight in a year."
Yeah, I mean, like in the video, I know the part you're talking about too. If you go to our beer fest video and you look at it, there's a portion where I'm standing at Big Tim's lollipop stand with Maisie, and we're talking about the lollipops, and my gut is just it's huge. It's just huge.
Just takes up the whole frame.
Yeah, it does. It's just disgusting. So, but anyway, so I've been making those changes, and I've always battled I've always battled anxiety and depression. But with that comes a certain level of gastro pain. So I have a gastroenterologist that I go to, and he's awesome. I love this guy. He's a great doctor, but
Dr.
I
Katz?
went. Dr. Schultz. Shout out to Dr. Schultz. I love him. He's awesome. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, too.
It goes hand in hand with your anxiety. I've seen,
You've seen the cycle.
I've been doing, this show with you for 10 years, but I've been working with you for 15 plus years. So I feel like, me and Andrea and anybody close to you have seen you go through this multiple times.
Sam would go in that category, probably Crystal as well. But so I had to, go in to get this, stomach deal looked at. I went in, he basically was telling me you should probably increase your exercise and everything. So I did that, got the Peloton ride every day, do an hour a day.
Now, I want to...
Yeah, please, you can pick it apart, ask questions, do whatever you got to do.
Because I want to explain to people that this is not, hey, I feel pain, I'm going to go get to the doctor and get it checked out. This is, I feel a pain, I am certain... This all comes with anxiety, that it is a life-threatening illness.
This is how I'm just like
I thought this was more than usual type thing. Like, is this your normal hypochondria that we experience?
It is normal, but it comes in intensity waves.
Yeah.
And
I think you probably have that too, right?
100%.
And just like any irrational fear, Big Daniel can't. And this goes along with anxiety, and I'm sure, Seth, you'll understand and be familiar with this. No matter what someone tells you, even if they're like, and I tell Daniel all the time when he goes through this, I just kind of feel, I tell him, I'm sorry you're going through it, because I used to be like, nothing's wrong with you. I used to try to be like, listen, you've gone through this, no matter what I told you.
Matter what you
Well, you're good about it now, where you'll be like,
that doesn't happen.
You will say, like, I understand you're doing the process, and because I say that to you, I'll even be like, it's happening again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't address it anymore like I used to when I'd come in. Like, I don't even address it now when I have the pain is coming in and telling you I think I'm dying. I'll just be like, yes, I have the pain. Yes, I think I'm dying. You know what I mean? There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference in how I do it.
And that's the thing when it comes to anything mentally or anxiety, and like that, people that are not dealing with that don't understand, because on the outside, if you're like a totally logical person, you would be like, how can you simultaneously be convinced, because this is not like Daniel's just saying it as a joke. He is convinced he is dying. Do you know what that feels like? Ask someone who is dying. And they think the same way. Like, Daniel is 100% convinced that what the pain he feels is something that is going to lead to his early demise, and he is living with that at the time. And even though he says it and jokes around with us about it, it doesn't matter, because like, you could be like, how can he know that it may be hypochondria on one hand and then also be convinced you're dying? I'm like, well, that's the thing. It's like,
because it doesn't matter.
To a person who doesn't deal with and I'll use the term that my therapist gave me yesterday, because I told her I was going to talk about this on the show. And she was like, "Oh, I think that's good, because those are your."
Because I will make fun of you for it.
Well,
great.
But she also understands that's my happy place. Is when you guys are giving me shit about it or kicking it around and making it funny.
Yeah.
But it's almost better to be a person that doesn't deal with anxiety or depression and actually be dying, because that feeling to you is a real feeling that and you will eventually die. So the process is true for me. Nothing that I'm feeling, nothing that I'm doing, it's accurate. Not even real.
Yeah. But you feel it as if anybody else
is real. Yes. So anyway, I'd gone to the doctor. I lost 30 pounds, or actually at this point I'd lost 20. I did blood tests, and all of my numbers are fucked up. I mean, I think most people can understand if you're overweight.
Oh, before in the past.
Yeah, if you're not taking care of yourself. Not now. But, I mean, this is before I lost the 20.
Yeah.
Now, I've lost more than that now. But, and so I went back to the doctor, had lost 20 pounds. He knows how I am. He's a great doctor, so he his bedside manner is according to the anxiety.
Yeah, my doctor knows how I am too, but I don't like that now. I think I have to change doctors, because he knows I'm hypochondriac.
Dr. Schultz.
He doesn't think anything's real.
But he tells me...
He's like,
that's what you need!
No, I don't need that.
He did this.
Because he's going to miss something now, because he thinks that I'm just a hypochondriac.
It doesn't work like that. But
you need an enabler.
But so he says...
I have a business plan.
Wait a minute.
He knows how I am, so he says, of course you have a business plan
about
you
guys.
Okay, great. I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear this. Yeah, enabler. So he says, he knew I was like he could read my face and tell. So he goes. He goes, you want to see what happens to your blood work when you lose 20 pounds? Do you want to see? And he goes, here, everything's normal. Like, he just fucking pulled the you know what I mean? Like, he's just like, look. And he goes, also, I'm super duper proud of you for doing that because no one fucking listens to me. You know, I'm sure doctors get tired of telling people, take your meds, don't go off your meds, eat right, and exercise. Yeah. It's not fucking rocket science.
It's not.
Seth is dedicated to it, but... what you do
for the sole purpose of not wanting to die,
right? But what you
from hypochondria.
But now the discipline of doing it consistently is hard, right? It's hard.
Fuck you.
Just for irony's sake. God, just for comedy. How funny would that be?
Because
right?
I think about that too. I think about overtraining, and I think my heart's getting too muscular, and I think it's going to explode because it's too muscular.
Yeah. I have no powers, but if it did happen, it would be ironically funny,
right?
And then when you read my death story, laugh just like I do. Please. I'm begging you.
Tell me if you feel this way.
Tom Lawlor
so I lost the 20 pounds. He told me, look, your blood work, you dialed it back in. Look, it's as good as it can get now. And he's like, so what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to continue. I enjoy this Peloton.
This is a while back. This is not this past week.
This isn't this past week. This was almost exactly 4 months ago. So he, at this time, he's like, I'd lost 20. He's like, continue the exercise. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. But he goes, I do want to retest you in 3 months. And I don't know if you're like me, but as soon as I heard that, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, well, I don't like when I have to get retested.
And by the way, you went through this cycle. I saw it 4 months ago before the test.
Yes,
your anxiety was
I'm sure you saw all
WRX coming off the line pegged.
Yeah, I'm sure you saw.
Then you had the blood test, and then waiting for the results. It was, crippling to you. And then you got the results. It came down. And then you were, and then back to normal. And then slowly, it is
when it ratchets up too. And this is the fucked up crazy part. When I know that I have my blood work done, or need to get my blood work done. I don't put it off or anything like that because I know I have to do it. But the level of anticipation that I have for the reveal day of meeting with the doctor again starts ratcheting up, like Tom is saying. So even last week, and you can hear it if you go back and listen to the show. I'm fucked up drunk on the show. I'm slurring my word. I'm not terrible, but it's not optimum. Yeah. It wasn't making the show better. And you can hear me medicating myself. Because I'm so fucking scared of this blood test reveal on Monday. I'm fucking petrified of it.
Yeah.
And that's all
you could think about.
And that whole week had been ratcheted up. Like, no, I can't be in the moment. I can't be present. I can't be available
because
to people.
It's always in your head. And when people are talking, I'm thinking about that, and then I kind of get what they say, but kind of not.
I noticed, and that's an interesting point.
You can see it.
Yeah, people see it on my face all the time. They're like, what's the matter with you?
When I'm doing the show with Daniel, I can tell when his anxiety's off the chart because it's weird. He doesn't have a connection because in his head
because you're connected with yourself in your own head.
Because think about if you are convinced you're going to die, how are you going to live a normal life? Like how is that not all you could think about? And that's what I have to be more.
It's not real, but you detach, and then things don't matter. Like this is wrong, but. In my brain, you start to think, well, nothing matters. I'm going to be dead anyway.
Yeah. So
none
then
of
you're
this,
like, why am I doing this? Why am I putting it on my pants?
So this is what happens to me, and maybe this will help you. Maybe this will help other people. So
do you relate to this, Seth?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just farted and it stinks so bad.
Stop farting! So random. You're going to hold it in.
I can't. I got kind of poop. I didn't do my poop this morning.
You didn't do your poop? Are you a baby?
Very random.
I didn't do my poop this morning. Me don't do my poop.
Usually in the morning I'm very regular, and I didn't this morning because of course I woke up at like 10:20, 10:30, and I was like, I gotta hurry up.
10:30?
Yeah.
What are you, a frat boy?
I stayed up watching the first episodes of Full House last night.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
It was on Hulu, and I was like, from 87. I wanted to see what they looked like as little kids.
He's single, ladies.
I'm sorry. Very off subject, but yes, I understand everything you're saying.
Me don't get my poop. Me so crazy. So this is what happens. So Friday, and we even talked about it after the show. I could tell you and probably Samantha as well weren't very happy with me for drinking too much on the show and not being at my best. I try to be at my best.
why do you? I don't mean to interrupt you, but why do you go to drink? Like me, I'm the opposite. Like if I know a blood test coming on, I freaking I double my workouts for like the week before. I make sure I'm eating like, I eat strict anyway, but I go like super strict. Like I don't even smell bad food.
Well, the alcohol will kill the anxiety.
It'll kill the anxiety.
It'll be 10 times worse the next day.
And it kills the pain.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It'll numb the stomach. It absolutely will numb the stomach.
I just think that's going to raise my liver, like my enzymes, of bad enzymes.
Well, I'd already had the test.
No, I can't do that.
I'd already had the test.
Oh, this
it was
is about
reveal.
getting them.
He stopped drinking before the test. I see it every time. Like I see the.
Yeah, he knows the pattern.
The pattern. You stop drinking before the blood test because you're like, I don't want to make it worse. And then once you take the blood test, you're like, okay, they got my blood. Now I'll go back to hard drinking.
Well, it's
just to kill the anxiety.
It's not even that. It's not even that precise. It's more of I did the blood test. That's not the hard part. The reveal is the hard part. It's like after I give the blood, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so scared right now. Give me a drink. Like it's that. It's like it's like I need something to fuck up my. Right over there. The Sam's gonna die.
That's not bad.
I can't smell it. So
I'm next to the vent. It's pushing this way.
My allergies are real bad. I'm good to be stuffy. So I go to the they have a schedule.
It's like cancer.
I think he is dying.
It was a steak I had last. I made a really good steak last night.
So I knew. We talked about it. You guys were more. I really appreciate how cool you were about not the fart, but about talking to me about.
Smell polyps.
It does smell
very polypy.
It smells like
I need a cancer dog in here to smell that.
The dog.
To see if he points.
We had one. He's dead. He died.
He died ironically of cancer.
Yeah, he overdosed on cancer farts.
I actually gave myself a cold sore. I took a STD.
You farted a cold sore in your mouth?
I took a HIV test, and I literally was so panicky, like I was shaking and sweating for like 2 or 3 days until I got the.
So you understand.
And I gave myself a cold sore
so you have
from
herpes.
that. I do have herpes.
It's worse than AIDS, actually.
Because you can't get rid of it.
I haven't had it since that time.
AIDS is the new herpes. Herpes is the new AIDS. It's weird.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying about anticipation.
Well, so Monday I knew I was going to get it. So the entire weekend was basically ruined, and I think that was the last thing I said to you when you left last Friday.
Yeah,
you were walking out the door, and you're like, dude. Even Sam's like, don't beat yourself up about it.
Oh, it's
She's like, you're fine. Tom's like, as you were leaving,
I'm not joking. When I left, I was like, that could be the last time.
Did you really?
I'm like, when I come here on Monday, I'm going to peek through the window if I see,
blood everywhere, like dry, dark, black blood.
Yeah. I mean, most likely.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Daniel,
not joke around about that, but I was concerned because I was like, man, you are going through a rough time.
I was having a tough go. So I knew it was Monday. The entire weekend got ruined. I basically just tried to break it up a little bit and not do what I would normally do, and then I just tried to spend a lot of time with Maisie.
You should have texted me, man.
She actually does. Well, here's the thing. I thought about it. I don't want to, though, trigger you. Because I know you're like me.
But when I don't have anything going on, I mean, I might think of something eventually, but like at the time, if I don't feel any difference, I'll be okay with it.
Well, here's what I think you
could
need.
Be like AA, you guys help each other by talking it out.
Well, then then let me share this
talk
with you.
yourself into a panic attack.
Yeah, that's true. Let me explain to you what happened on Monday. I think you need this, but I don't think it's something you can fabricate. Like, it has to happen. So... 4 p.m. was the time I was supposed to go. You guys all knew that, but Monday was pretty normal, right?
Yeah.
Because I really was trying to, all weekend long, I did, I spent time with Maisie. I tried to do things that I really, really like. I tried to avoid, alcohol and even marijuana and things that, I just tried to do fun stuff.
Yeah.
But Friday would really bum me out. I felt like I let you guys down. I felt like I wasn't my best on the show. I like being, I like imbibing or, drinks and stuff, but using them to actually...
change your
to numb a pain or anxiety is just not. That's never going to work, and it doesn't work for anybody, and never will. So, 4 p.m. I leave here. I tell you guys I got to go. So you're like, well, I got some bills or some invoices to send. So Sam I think leaves. So I take off to go to the thing, and I'm running a little bit late, but I'm like, I'm gonna get there. So I've got my card with my appointment time on it. Everything circled. So I go in there.
And you're fully expecting the doctor to tell you like a Breaking Bad moment. They're like, this is I see a spot in your lung. And
No, but
Wait,
that's,
was it just blood tests, or was it like an X-ray of your stomach or SCT or something? Was it just blood tests you're waiting
here's
for?
the thing, Seth, and you're probably the correct person to tell this to. I'd had an ultrasound before.
Wow.
Everything's great.
They measured his liver,
yeah,
and he was
everything's
convinced.
fine.
He's like, my
Yeah,
liver,
it's fine. Me
it's
too.
too big. It's gigantic. And I'm like, it's not. And then
I will honestly tell Tom that I can see my pancreas sticking out of my stomach.
Yeah.
I'll tell him shit like that.
Every day I look at it, he's like, my eyes are yellow, and then I'm like, oh, yellow.
These are complete opposites too, because Dan will come up with something like he thinks his organs are poking out. Tom was bleeding from his back the other day. Didn't even
that was gross.
Didn't even flinch.
And weird.
We don't even know what happened.
What was it, a zit? Why are you bleeding?
We have no idea.
I think he's been taking testosterone.
He had a white
It all-
ball.
That's not where you injected.
All the evidence points that direction, but
Yeah.
I promise I'm not.
He was his between his toes and his fingers all scabbed up. And bad.
God.
So I got there. I go inside. The receptionist is standing there, and or sitting there rather. Even telling the story, I get nervous. Jesus Christ. So I walk in, and she's like, "May I help you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here 4 p.m. I've got to follow up with Dr. Schultz. He's going to go over my blood work." And she's like, "You're Trevor?" I'm like, "No."
Okay, good, because Trevor's dying.
I'm like,
Oh,
no.
Trevor's bad.
Trevor's
I feel bad because
Probably didn't even make it here.
yeah, he wasn't there, and he never showed up while I was there, so that's
Oh,
weird.
shit.
So she goes, last name? I go, Dennis. She's like, yeah,
no.
I don't
Oh,
have
no.
you. I don't have you on the schedule. I start like getting like
Yeah.
I'm like lightheaded. I'm
I get
out of
that.
body.
I get that.
Yeah, you're
Hot. Yeah, it's
like as if they
somebody
told
just
you you died.
exploded a grenade or a flash bomb, and I'm. Like that scene in a war movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hand her my card, and it's got date, time, everything on it. And she's like, "Oh yeah, this is Billy's handwriting." Yeah, I mean, hold on one second. Let me see if we have your labs. I don't even have your labs here.
Oh, that would make me.
I'm like,
I'd be pissed just for wasting my time.
I wasn't.
No, I'd be pissed.
I don't think I'm capable of being pissed when I'm that
scared.
when I'm that. Thank you. Yeah, it's just like it's in the possibility. So she's like, "Well, we'll go have a seat. Let me see if I can figure this out." She's like, "Dr. Schultz is left for the day." I'm like, "Oh no." Yeah. Oh no!
And what you're?
Oh no! Like I'm like I start to like.
You're scared of having to live like this for another day.
Yeah.
Because and I know what people are thinking because I used to think this, and it sounds absurd what Daniel's saying because you're like, as a rational person that doesn't deal with this anxiety, this extreme anxiety, you're like, why do you go through this? Why is this happening? But it's like it is not logical, but that's the reason. It is like beyond explanation, and I'm telling you, Daniel's being 100% honest. This is what he goes
talking
through.
about it. I know a lot of you, well, not in the Twitch chat room, actually. Like Neil Del Rio said, Daniel talking about this helps me understand my anxiety better. Good. That's why we're talking about it.
I got a theory after you.
That's why we're talking about it. Because making jokes about it, I need you guys to make jokes. I need you guys to fuck with me about it because not talking about it does what? What does that fucking do? Yeah. It does nothing. Every time we talk about something like this, I don't think we've ever really, I've never gone into this much detail about it, but every time I do this, I'll get a fucking 100 emails from people that are like, "Thank you for talking about that. It's important to talk about that." So anyway, I'll finish this real quick. I'm starting to lose it in there, a little bit. I'm not going to start whirling dervish and tearing pictures off the walls, throwing lamps at old ladies. But I could have passed out. Yeah, I could feel that.
Quick, hit him over the head with his own cancer blood. We should have said anything.
Hit him over the head with that dead cancer-sniffing dog. So the lady says, I'll go talk to the nurse. I'll be right back, but we don't have you on the books today. Dr. Schultz is gone. And I'm freaking out. So this nurse that I really like, she's all tatted up and she has blue mermaid hair. She comes out and she's like, and this is what you need.
Oh, I
this is where, and my therapist said this term, and she's right. She's like, you had to break the ceremony. This cycle of coming through every 3 months, getting the blood test, drinking too much to hide it, or what? I've done the same thing with marijuana, where I'm just like, fuck it, I'm so anxiety right now. I'm going to take so much indica that I will fall asleep.
Yeah. To end your consciousness of anxiety.
But that's not the way to handle it. Like, she's like, you needed to break the ceremony. The ceremony is, everybody knows it. Think you have problem, go to doctor, do blood test, do reveal, start again.
I've seen this go.
Do it again.
By the way, I've seen this happen. I'm not even joking. Maybe 6 times throughout 15 years. Like it's a thing.
Yeah, it's bad. And so, what was great about it is the mermaid nurse came out. You know, the cool like punk rock nurse, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, they must have messed that up. Hey, here's your test results. Everything's fine, perfect, and you've lost more weight. You look great. You keep it up. You're doing great. This is exactly."
It's just like nothing. Wow.
Yeah, to her it was like
no big deal.
And the ceremony that my therapist talked about, that ceremony, like to me it was as meaningful to my anxiety as a fucking kid lighting an Advent candelabra at a Christmas service or some shit. It was that fucking important to me.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Like I know you do.
Yeah,
like I know, like it's like go drive to the place, get in the MRI, get the MRI, get the results, and then
it's the
and then as soon as the guy comes
Yeah.
out, it's like, oh man, we see this in everybody. It's not a big deal. Like people in your age, this is normal.
Yeah,
for
and you
everyone.
instantly-
I'm like,
and-
I'm like so relieved.
and my therapist
It's
was,
a weight that lifts off
Oh,
you.
literally, you feel that shit just lift off your whole body, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, and
Emotionally.
the fact that she was so flippant about it. So I get I have the piece of paper, and I walk out, and this is the part that you guys will, you
cried.
I mean.
You
Maybe you'll make fun of it, maybe you won't, but I walked out to my car and I sat down in my car and I was so fucking exhausted from this strange, fucked up emotional roller coaster that I've created myself, by the way. It's not like anybody's doing this to me.
It's a ceremony that ends the same way every time.
Yeah.
And but no matter how many times you go through it, it feels the same.
It feels the same.
It's almost like you seek it out as a. Because think about the release. It's a chemical release your brain is doing.
Yeah.
It's addicting.
I mean, it feels
it
good
could be.
It's as
like
addicting as
it does
anything
feel good
else.
when everything is okay. Like that is a good. That's a euphoric.
It's a
feeling.
rush, yeah,
it is
yeah.
a euphoric feeling.
Yeah, but like-
it's not worth what it leading up to it. No, fuck.
No.
Correct.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
So,
So
I got in my car and I sat there and I just burst into fucking tears and I could not stop crying. I was so exhausted and so tired. And so that's what I
You know,
needed.
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad it
appreciate
came from
that.
you too, because even though
You get a fist
you're
bump.
like, because a
needed
true
that.
bully, even though he goes through the same
Oh, you
thing,
gotta get him when he's weak.
still
Yeah,
always a guy going through the same
Because
thing.
I did the same thing when I had shingles one time. I didn't know what it was. I thought something burst in my back, and I started getting a rash. I was like, I'm fucking dying from something. And the doctor's like, oh, he literally just like so nonchalant, like, oh, it's just shingles, not a big deal. He's like, I usually see it in older people, but it's fine. And I was like, oh, I got to my car and I did the same thing. I teared up and I started crying, like, oh my god,
Like I cried so
This was
much.
years ago, though.
Writing down shingles, herpes.
Like I cried so much that when my
Shingles, I will
wife
never
called
get it
me,
again now.
like Andrea called me. Andrea's like,
You can get shingles again.
yeah, you can totally get some shingles again.
sure.
Andrea called me. She's like, "Hey, so what? I haven't heard from you. What's going on?" And I'm like, I can't really talk right now. I'm like fucking crying. And she's like, "All right, you know, like, why the fuck she would want to be married to me? I have no fucking idea."
You're lucky.
Yeah.
And
Don't-
she does so much for you.
But yeah, but it is super duper helpful to know that, like, I needed that to happen. Like, I needed that process to get fucked up. I needed it because it gave me the ability to, like, I had to cope in a different way. Like, I had to go a different direction. I had no choice. The doctor wasn't there to ask questions. He wasn't there to hold my hand and walk me through it with his bedside manner that I gravitate to and I really like.
Yeah.
You know, I needed the nurse to be dismissive about it.
Wait.
Yeah, it's something to be dismissive about. Yeah, of course my blood work's right. I've lost 30 fucking 5
nothing's
pounds.
wrong with you.
I'm riding the bike every fucking day and eating right. Like, what the fuck?
What was the guy's name that was supposed to have the appointment?
Trevor. Trevor.
Sure. Did you look at the paperwork that she handed you? Sure didn't say
What's
Trevor.
Trevor up to?
Yeah, no,
You're
it's
Trevor.
real big at the top. I did look. By the way, do you know?
Oh, thank God! You're like,
Do you
you look
know
at it again, then
fucking-
it's Trevor, then you just start.
Do you know how
bawling.
fucking dangerous it
Bring
is?
in the pastor for Mr. Dennis. You need him in here. Give him his last goodbye.
Do you know how hard it is to drive and read your blood work?
Tears in the eyes.
Like to go over it multiple times before you get home?
Yeah.
Totally did it.
Okay.
Shouldn't have been doing it.
So,
But yeah, everything is fine.
Yeah.
And
I know. Of course it is. I'll bet any amount of money.
But the bad part about that is when, like, I mean, I've gone sometimes where I fucking am the most healthy person in the world, and my liver
of course you
enzymes,
are.
they were elevated. So I remember I told the story before. I was freaking out because what else can I do to be more healthy than I am? Then I thought it was like overtraining does it too. It releases them. So
my therapist,
they were fine the next time I took them. I called my doctor. I was like, I want to come back in and test it right now. He's like, well, you just had it a week ago. I'm like, well, I want to see if it was because I trained hard. He's like, coming in a week. So I got it done 2 weeks later, full blood work again, and it went back down to normal. So I felt better about it.
Well, sometimes they just spike for no reason. They could just spike for having a drink.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I researched
my therapist,
why.
the interesting part, my therapist was like, well, you needed this to happen. And she's like, and here's what we're doing. You're not going to go back in 3 months. If you'd like, you can go back in 6 months. But my homework is to break that ceremony.
I don't know.
Well, no, I have a different plan.
No, but I'm also
wait for my business idea.
Well, but I'm also going to her a lot more frequently to work on this. You know what I mean? Like, it's important. I'm not going to do this by myself and just go like, okay, here we go.
If you want to get healed, but I got another idea. And wait till you hear this.
I knew. It's so funny. As soon as I started talking about the blood test this morning, he got like this big, like shit-eating snake oil salesman. It's like, I got a business idea.
Listen, any sleazy businessman sees people and that are ripe for being taken advantage of, and then I'm like, I see a way to make money off these people.
I'm willing to hear you out.
Here's my idea, and because I really, I started looking at, like, because obviously I've been around Daniel for a long time, and Seth and other people.
How much money do you think Seth and I've spent on?
Well, that's another. I got another option of that. But I have actually.
I think you actually are. When it comes to appointments and MRIs, you've got me beat,
dude.
I've had a lot of.
But I think I have you beat on blood tests.
Almost like anybody our age in their like mid 30s, early 40s, or whatever that I've seen recently, and I think this is an epidemic in society with anxiety, and I think it's only being perpetuated or worse by your phones and all the technology. I don't think our human brains were ever haven't adapted to be bombarded with this much information.
We're downloading too much too fast. And you're not able to process it, and when it backs up, I feel like you've created some sort of artificial like disease. I think like a data disease.
Our brains knowing that we're always connected or semi-connected, or could always be people could always get in contact with us, like not being disconnected and being connected at all times, I think is causing a baseline of anxiety for all humans. And I think the people that have more anxiety is causing them to have these more like anxiety problems.
I don't want to interrupt you, but your analogy is perfect. You don't plug in an iPad or a laptop or a cell phone at all times. You'd kill the fucking battery if you did that.
Yeah. You're plugged in.
You're not supposed to
all
be
of us
plugged in all the fucking time.
I think I heard someone describe it as like you're always partially aware, right? Because with a phone now, you are aware that anybody can contact you at any time, and any information you could look at any time. You're always being tempted to look at your Facebook, your Instagram, your social media, your emails, and all this stuff. I used to complain about it even when we first got email on our phones. Back in the radio days, I was like, man, anybody in the sales position or whatever now is expected to answer emails 24/7, right? Like now, you don't just go home and you leave your work at home. You go home and you're always connected to work, or you're always connected to someone. Right. And so anyway, I think this is a huge problem, and I think a lot of people...
And you want to take advantage of those.
Yes, that's what you do. Well, that's what a businessman does.
Yes, I do.
You see this thing, and how can you...
you become Cheech Marin
How
from,
can you make
Dust
money?
I
can't fix it. Fuck it.
Big titties.
Listen, society's fucked up. I can't fix that, but I can make money off of it. Now, this is my idea. So... And I think this happens to a lot of people, because everybody that around our age that tells me like, I had to go to the hospital, my heart, like I felt like I was having a heart attack. They always go, and
we have a lot of friends that have said that,
and they always say it's anxiety. They do the EKG, and they're like, "You're fine. Your heart's fine. You're too young to have heart problems. Everything's fine." And it's always anxiety.
I don't believe they're too young.
It's always anxiety.
Don't
though.
tell me how young I am.
All my friends that ever went to the hospital or went to the clinic because they thought they were dying, it's always been anxiety. And so this
Or
is a
indi-
problem.
or indi-
I
indigestion.
have more anxiety about going to the doctor or the hospital.
Yeah,
So I'll almost die before I go to
No,
the hospital.
that's the real man version of the opposite
That's
of like.
horrible.
I probably should have went to the hospital and got stitches for my eye, and I was just like,
Oh, see
no.
stuff like that. Then yeah, of course.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Cuts. And
Daniel got a spider bite and
breaks
it was
and-
getting infected and he didn't care, which was bizarre.
forgot
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
I
Because it
forgot
doesn't
about
make
that.
That's
it was,
scary to
it was
me.
on my stomach, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it
That
just
is weird. Why did you
and,
not
why were
freak
you
out?
scared of that?
and it got infected, and then when I finally went to the doctor, he's like, he lanced it and
Real
drained it, and
problem.
he's like, wow, 3 or 4 more days and you'd have been dead. And I'm like, no big deal.
The explanation.
I got anxiety.
The explanation is that's why it's crazy.
Yeah,
It doesn't make any fucking
See, I know-
rational
but
sense.
I just know how dangerous that shit is. Staph and
Yeah,
people
yeah,
think it's spider bites, but most of the time it's staph, and doctors say it's spider bites. It's,
Yeah.
No,
So,
this-
but
this-
it's actually
once
dangerous.
you see the red line going up, that's the red line of death going to your heart. Once it
Yeah.
reaches your heart, you're.
That's what he said. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so I
mine
know.
was an actual spider bite because I remember when the spider
remember
fell
when
on
it
me.
bit you?
It was over at Baldwin Pool.
So
What kind of spider was it?
here's my business
Must have been
plan.
a bad one.
Sue Ball and Pool.
So
Can't now. It's
I'll
been
go
years.
poop in the pool.
I know the professional therapist said you got to break the cycle, blah blah blah. Yeah, I know that's the healthy thing to do. But my idea
Okay.
is
All right, Dr. Tom.
I'm partnering with like Quest or Lab Core or all the different blood
yeah.
tests.
Oh, I'm
blood
sure
test.
they'll partner with you.
And then here's what we'll do for any, like you could sign up for the service,
Okay.
and once a month, just like you would be, I'm trying to think of what, like an eye exam or whatever. You
Once a month eye exam.
you swing inside the LabCorp. They take your blood,
Yeah.
and then and it is a monthly test.
If they come to me, I would do it.
So it's like Netflix for blood tests.
Yeah. And because what I've seen is you just want the blood test. That's the dope per se. Like that's the what releases.
Yeah, get your fix.
You
Yeah.
get your fix of I'm fine. So
All right.
imagine if every month you got a blood test sent to you, and then it's just like you're fine. Maybe I'll get like a ramshackle doctor or whatever that can just review
like a marijuana doctor.
yeah. And then they'll be on the payroll, and then LabCorp will give me a discount. It'll be some sort of app, a Bloodber. I can't figure it out.
So you'd be running blood back and forth, like running blood.
Yeah,
samples.
it's just for hypochondriacs.
Information.
It's blood tests for hypochondriacs monthly, so that they
No,
get
wait a
their
minute.
fix of they're not
Do
dying.
you give me money back if I sign up in the first month I go and they're like, you're dying? From my first test, do you give me money back?
No. But here's the thing: if
'Cause I feel like
if you are dying, you win a prize.
Oh, what
And
do I
that's
get?
the-
iPad?
So
What
it's
kind
not
of prize?
iPad. Yeah, like an iPad,
iPad
or
mini. No, don't give a full blown
because
big
I'm
one.
betting that these hypochondriacs they're never dying, but eventually one will be like, oh, we got a bad
like
result.
a pair.
Give him an
No,
iPad.
you should say if
I know.
No,
I
you
got a
get
real one.
points that you can use in our digital catalog to buy
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a pair of Yeezys or an iPad Mini.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Here's the deal. I know you're joking, and I know you're doing it just to make money, but I'll be your first customer.
I knew it. He wants it. You don't do it.
I'm not in.
I don't know.
I'm going to try to do it my
100%
therapist
sign up.
way.
I swear to God, if I saw something like that,
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
could get
know!
blood tested once a month, I would do it.
I know Daniel. He says he wouldn't, but he's
wouldn't
trying to
do it?
listen. But
I would.
he'll be crawling
That's interesting to me. I would like to know. That's
Andrea
interesting.
would
to me.
not let me do that considering
Well, you
that
hide it from her, just like any expensive.
I don't really hide anything from her. She wants me to be better, not worse. I feel like, and I actually figured that you would mention this. I mentioned something very similar to my therapist, and she was like, "Oh no."
Well, yeah, that's what the
What, you gave her?
professionals
You gave her a pitch like that pitch?
No, I said
this is what my partner wants to do.
Because earlier in the week, Tom
mentioned
and I
that.
were talking about it.
'Cause I said
and
to
mentioned-
Daniel-
yeah, and he's like, "Have you ever thought about is there a service where you can get your?" And I didn't realize he was asking me if he was doing basically market research. He's using me as a goddamn makeup guinea pig to figure out
if it works.
if this works or not. I was like, and at the time I said it's a pretty good idea until I told my therapist about it, and she was like, "No, it's a fucking horrible idea."
Well, of course the therapists say that. Fuck the therapist.
Seth's with me.
I'm
I'll
with
make
them.
all the money.
Like I said,
And
I'll partner with you.
I
No,
asked,
you can do
I'll
it.
throw in.
It's a good idea, right?
I guess people are saying in the Twitch chat room that you can do this
Damn it.
right now anyway.
Yeah, well, you can
Oh,
go.
it's been done. It's
Can
been
you
done.
guys send me the link, please?
Bloodber.
Link it on there.
Bloodber's out the
please.
window.
All
What is it
my
called?
burr ideas have already been done. But
What about Bilber?
We can undercut whoever that is.
I know, yeah. Well,
Someone pays your bills for you.
Underblooder.
now,
Then we get sued by Bill Burr.
Yeah.
That's great.
because I did ask, do you need a doctor's order to even get a
don't.
blood test?
You
You
do
can
not.
just go to Quest and be like,
Really? I never done that.
Yeah,
So,
you can go.
Essentially, you could do this yourself. I'm just adding on extra services. Like,
Well, no,
I'll have
You're the middleman.
I'll have a ramshackle doctor look it over real quick just to make sure all your levels are...
for? Is this for a marijuana? Oh, the blood test is fine.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a practicing doctor because he had some
Well, he can't.
issues. There were some legal
technically
issues.
the knowledge is in there. It's just he doesn't have.
He
the-
can't legally call himself a doctor anymore. That's all I'm saying.
Do people even legally call themselves doctors now? It's physician, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm
It's
just
like the
saying.
place at the HIV
MD.
test I went to. The guy's like, "Oh, do you have sex with other men?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "I'm not doing this test." I'm like, "Well, like, I have unprotected sex
I'm not
with
doing
women."
this test unless you're gay, bro.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it. I was like, "What?"
Next
he's like,
time, just say you do.
yeah, I didn't.
I had no
I'm
idea
not
you
gay.
went
I
to
don't wanna
like
be gay.
douchebag doctors. Too.
You're not going to be gay. You just say you
Well,
are,
if
so they give you the test.
I don't want to say.
What if you get an AIDS? I
my
have heard.
God.
I have heard. Now, this may not be a fact. I have heard if you get an
Dude, I
AIDS
don't
test,
say
you're
it.
gay.
What are you talking about?
Wait, what?
I've seen you. I mean,
Yeah, I know. I'm joking.
If you get an AIDS test, you're gay. Everyone knows that. That's just a fact.
I just hate that he didn't want to give it to me because I didn't have sex with men. He's like, you can't get it from women. I'm like, what?
That is a lie.
I know,
That's
but
true.
he's running this whole place there. I'm like, this place should be shut down.
Yeah, shut him down. Did you write him a bad review?
No.
You should.
I felt like I was
kinda-
going to get yelled at by the gay community or something.
To kind of go back to what we were saying and tie a little bow on it, the reason that I think this one is so pivotal in my life, and my therapist agreed, and this is my hypothesis, I was like, this is the first time since I've had anxiety and depression and battled it as an adult where the actual results of the blood test were not a relief and did not send me to a very positive place.
it was just a nothing.
It was a nothing. Because they fucked the ceremony up. The ceremony is go to the doctor, get weighed in, talk to the nurse, go in the room, sit and wait for the doctor.
Oh,
Doctor
because
comes in.
they-
They fucked my ceremony up. They ruined it.
So that although I can tell that you have less anxiety, like the anxiety.
That is probably more to do with, I'm not. I agree with you, but I think it has more to do with I am taking the correct steps versus the. Because this doesn't feel like there's a euphoria, there's a high that you get, and I'm sure you would agree that where like you get the test results and you feel great, and instantly you feel good. I did not that night. I did not feel good
For exactly. For like maybe like a couple days and then something else.
Slowly
Then if I get-
creeps back in.
then if I get-
Yeah.
You know what I was
It's
thinking?
terrible. It's terrible. But I think maybe I think I understand it a little bit better now. I think maybe that needed to happen in order to maybe hopefully I'm on the way to like a little bit more of a more permanent fix.
So follow me with this because I started thinking about all this and I started thinking about you and Seth and a lot of people that deal with this, and then I started thinking of like our whole healthcare system, and you know how like everybody's like, oh, it's the poor that are uninsured that are causing
Is
these
this what you
problems.
told me this morning? Is
Well,
hilarious.
okay, follow me because I'm not sure. I have no research or anything.
It's me and Daniel single-handedly fucking raising
No, there's a lot of you and
Yeah,
Daniel
Fuck
out there.
that. The amount of my paying in health insurance, I don't care.
Yeah, there's a lot of us
now,
out there.
Now, here's the thing, though, like because when people talk about like health insurance problem in our healthcare industry, there's like, oh, the uninsured poor people. But I'm like, well, the uninsured poor people, like every once in a while, you cut your finger off in a chainsaw accident or whatever.
What would a poor person be cutting?
Well, here's or me. I've
I've only seen poor people use chainsaws. Yeah. I've never seen a rich person use a chainsaw.
It's like,
Seth.
can I have $1?
No. They're
Chainsaw.
usually like, I'll cut your limbs for hurricane
that type
season
of
for an
problem.
18
See,
pack.
at least they're working. That type of problem.
unless it's like a American Psycho killing a prostitute.
Right, yeah.
That's the only way.
Yeah. Or a rap video.
So the anyway, God, I lost my whole point.
You're talking
Sorry,
about
you're talking about how we
the
raise up
finger
the
cut
premium.
off and Seth and I are
So, and then like for me, I was an uninsured poor person. I cut the tendon in my pinky. I went to the hospital. I had to pay the doctor cash. But he told me he's like, all the bills you're going to get, the anesthesia and the hospital bills, is like you could not pay those, whatever. So they all came in. It was like $11,000. Didn't pay them, whatever. That's what most people do.
It goes on your credit now, though. What's it say?
Nah, after a certain amount of years, anyway.
It's like 7 years it drops off.
Yeah.
It's
But
fine.
so anyway, it's nothing to go broke over paying your medical bills. But so I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but maybe because think about how many people deal with this anxiety, go to the doctor and do tests and do all these things, and they go through, and insurance pays for it because most people that I know that have this have insurance. So you're going to the doctor due to your anxiety more than the normal person.
Right.
Is that taxing the system? Because
No.
I mean, is it more the person with money and insurance and anxiety is worse on the system than the poor person that doesn't have insurance? I don't know,
because they're actually paying their monthly payment and paying their
but think about how
premiums and
but your insurance company's paying so much because the doctor has to believe you because if you complain of
there's
something,
no way that my $450 a month is less than me going to the doctor once a month. There's no way.
You go to the doctor once a month? I don't even know.
With all the tests and stuff, you're probably bilking the system tens of thousands.
Once every 2 months. Once every 8 weeks, I'd say. Yeah.
But
That's a lot. That's a lot.
But the poor person,
that's a lot.
he's going to the emergency room
3 free visits.
once a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
or
If that, yeah.
yeah. Because
Maybe that's why I don't go.
Yeah.
Growing up poor, I'm just like,
I never go.
I'll wait it out,
So,
right?
Yeah. Like I think it's
Maybe that's mentally what happened.
it's the anxiety-ridden rich guy that's bilking the
You bastards!
I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to disagree with you, but it sounds feasible.
I'm just fucking around partly, but anyway. But this is a problem that people deal with all the time, and we should, as a society, try to help and try to figure out a way that people don't keep having to go to the hospital and get tests to only feel better. Because I think that's what they're doing. They're doing what you described. You get anxiety.
I self-pay at MRI too, so that's I pay for the freaking.
Well, I just don't. I mean, to go back again to what we were saying, I just don't think the blood test part of it, is the part that I need to increase. It's more than likely it's the therapist part.
Probably increase the MRI.
If I can, I don't need one right now, but I mean,
honestly, that's what I would do.
Even if I don't need
that
one,
shit
just go
sees inside your body. It knows everything that's there. That doesn't lie. That's why I do them all the time. What, my foot's swollen? MRI. What, my brain is hurting? MRI.
That shit knows what's inside your
I have
body.
a nosebleed? MRI my nose. Literally MRI everything.
But the thing is,
and it's magnet, so it can't give you cancer. So we're good.
The thing is, though, it's not nothing's in 1 month's time. Nothing is going to be there that wasn't there a month ago.
Bullshit. How was that? People die in 1 month.
But Tom's point is you're not going to grow a tumor in a month.
Or you can start the cells clumping together to form a tumor.
Cell clumping.
Well,
that's what happens.
And then you can do after
cancer
a
cells
year.
clump.
Yeah. Anyway, if it's a fast one, you're dead anyway. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they say about the colon, the prostate cancer. It's either the
speaking of colon,
it's the slow one or the fast one. If you got the fast one, you're good as dead. Anyway, let's take a break.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you got to get Tom.
What?
You got to get Tom. He said he's ready to go.
We got another special guest. Okay.
Tom.
Well, let's eat some pizza. Did our White Claw people?
See, your blood tests are good.
I messaged our
We're supposed
winner.
to do a White Claw party today. We ordered pizza.
Originally, he wanted to come last week, and then he had to switch to this week, which is fine. Messaged him. He's in Philadelphia. He had an impromptu business trip and did not remember to tell us about it. So we have pizza and White Claw.
Send him the bill for the pizza and the White Claw. That's only fucking fair.
Is this a BDM?
Yes.
So how much was $15 for the pizza?
No, dude, that was $25 for that pizza.
Well, this motherfucker, Philadelphia Ronnie over here, owes us some money. This goddamn pizza place. Let's take a little break. This is a local band that I did not know about, a punk rock band on Smart Punk. The name of the band is Suck Brick Kid. The name of the song is Sofa King. They have a new album that just came out called Salt to Taste. It reminds me of a lot of 4 Years Strong or maybe A Day to Remember, that style. So enjoy this. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this song.
Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, West Colonial Drive. What is that?
No,
Is that confused, horny?
I just know you like that.
I do like that.
I just decided to do it.
It's
It's fun. It's never not fun.
They're like,
but
I listened to the commercial because they're idiots. You just did the sound and you didn't even do nothing.
There are very few things that are better than that sound. One of them, though, is driving a WRX.
Yeah.
Now that I can say. That's way cooler, faster, more fun.
I love my Forester. That's what I got first. I leased a Subaru Forester, a great car.
Then you had the Need for Speed.
Then I got the WRX I'm driving now.
Yep.
My wife's looking at the Ascent. It's their brand new, bigger SUV style.
Was behind one in
crossover.
traffic this morning. I was getting my drinks.
Yeah, 2 captain's chairs. She loves it.
I didn't know they fancied those things up. This thing's got like brushed aluminum exhaust tips and shit. It's fancy town.
Yeah, if you,
it's nice.
It depends. You can get the upgraded package. If you go see Mike Stacks over there at Sport Subaru Sport Mitsubishi, he'll hook you up.
Don't do that. You'll look stupid. Yeah, don't do that.
He's our contact over there. And if you're looking for a truck, a Corvette, anything Chevrolet, dmchevy.com.
Yes.
It's the Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont.
All they're offering supplier pricing on most models right now that can that's over 20% off MSRP. So you're going to get a heck of a deal. You can see our friend JC Harrelson, the king of Corvettes. My God. And they don't have it anymore, but they should be getting the new that mid-engine Corvette like now, right?
Yeah, they're getting them in. I know you.
We got to see it. Oh my goodness!
You can still pre-order them, but you're going to get the VIP experience. You're going to get the hookup if you talk to Mike Stacks or JC Harrelson because they want to take care of Tom and Dan listeners. They want to hook up BDMs.
Yep.
So if you're looking for a car, you're in the market for a car, look at these 2 dealerships, and you get to come in and watch the show as an extra perk. So it's Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, and Don Mealy Chevrolet.
Scumbags! What's going on? It is Sam and Trav with your BDM clip of the week, Sam.
And Trav.
This week, Dan told a childhood memory.
Yeah, it's a little story about him discovering his own body.
Let's check out the clip.
But I remember a memory of sitting in the tub. I remember not understanding why farts that I would fart in the tub would smell worse than farts that are not in the tub.
No.
I'm sure people have done stand-up about that. I'm sure people have mentioned that before. I have no idea why that's a thing. My theory is that the gas that's moving through the water is picking up more smell particles. So when it does breach the surface, you're getting more than just the fart. But that's just my own,
science man.
I don't know. But I remember as a kid taking this action figure and taking the action figure's foot and sticking it in my ass.
Okay, oh my God.
No.
Oh my God.
Why?
I did not see where this was going.
I don't know why.
I didn't either. I thought there was going to be some kind of soap situation.
No, I was just covering my asshole.
You didn't know it was there.
Don't do that.
I knew
roadblock.
I don't. Okay, it's
what
funny.
Appropriate
It was not roadblock. It was not roadblock, but I think I do know who it was. Are you ready?
Was it Snow Job?
Yes.
It's even better.
Don't stick Snow Job's foot in your ass.
No,
Snake Eye?
No, it's not Snake Eye.
Oh, don't tell me it's Duke.
It was Duke.
No!
It was Duke.
Never put Duke's foot in your ass.
Duke comes out, not goes in, right?
Duke is a goddamn patriot, Sam. You can't do that to him.
You cannot. But for some reason, Dan decided to see what would happen. I don't know. He never really expanded on the outcome of that.
You don't want to ask.
Put it in
Don't
there.
ask.
All right. Well, to hear the rest of this episode, you need to sign up to become a BDM
At tomanddan.com.
That is Jane Holiday. The name of the song is Living from the Still Ill EP. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producers here, and our good friend Seth Petrozelli is hanging out.
Konnichiwa.
And we're getting somebody else here, right? Like we're...
Yeah. Tom Lawlor's
I
on
didn't
his
know
way.
if you wanted to save that. Did we already talk about that?
I'm
Well,
lifting
I
him
said it
over.
right before.
Yeah.
Is he still known as Filthy Tom Lawlor?
Yeah, and he's still filthy. He's been staying in my house the past week.
Is he kind
No,
of gross? He's kind of gross?
He's not. No, he's all right. I mean, some dishes have been left around. I'm a neat freak. I'm a super neat freak. Like I'm ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
drive my niece crazy when it comes to like cleaning stuff. So anything left out, I'm like, you're just gonna leave this cup of water here. You're gonna, you left this dish outside, and here you go.
When I saw the inside of your house from the Bat video, I was surprised at how
impressed, yeah.
how it was decorated and how neat it was.
It's decorated like a gay.
yeah.
Very, very.
Well, that's appropriate because I'm half gay.
Yeah,
so,
it is very
Half.
nice. Also, real quick, we have brand new headbands, the Tom and Dan headbands. I think we have 3 or 4
You
new
guys have
colors.
headbands?
Yeah, you want a headband?
I
Where
wear
you
headbands all the
been?
time.
Hold your hair back.
Yeah.
No, it's just to look cool because I'm bald. I have to cover it with hats, headbands, visors.
I think we got 3 or 4 new colors up on the site.
Yeah.
4 new colors. And also, fairvilla.com, one of our great sponsors, multiple locations, OBT, Kissimmee, over on the coast, Key West. Seth, do you have anything from Fairvilla over there?
I have a few things from Fairville, actually.
What do you got?
Sex swing.
I swear to God, I have a sex
Yes!
I swear to God, yeah.
Is that
I was wondering who buys
I
that.
used it twice, and like, this is a lot of fucking work.
Is it?
Because
You have to
I
hang
literally
it.
had
They're
to,
expensive.
I had to freaking hang
Drill a
it
hole,
in a
yeah.
freaking, but it has to be like in
In
a
a beam.
stud, in a beam.
I don't feel like it would be
And
any better.
Not only that, but like, you can't leave that sitting above your bed when we have people over and just
Sure you
families.
can't. People aren't supposed to go in your
Where do
bedroom.
you keep it?
For the teens that you're with, you
In my
could use a
garage.
drywall
In your
anchor.
garage.
But no, it's in my bedroom. It was in my bedroom.
Fucking,
But I
one of those
hook it
monkey
and
screws.
store it in my
There's
garage.
no,
You could Velcro that up there.
yeah,
if
yeah. You
wanted
don't need to put it in a, you know, there's not that many big girls in there.
You're not fucking a 300-pound milk.
When I was with my girlfriend, my ex-fiance, I had a drawer off to my right that had stacked full of all sorts of stuff. I had bullets, vibrators, sex
Butt
swings, but I had a couple anal rings. Or
Anal rings?
Anal butt plugs, yes.
I enjoy the wedge. Daniel has some stuff at fairvilla.com.
Yeah.
I feel like I can jump right to this
Mouth
quickly.
pads.
I mean, because it ties in.
It's like a ring that goes in your mouth and then
Oh,
a strap
yeah.
that ties around your... Yeah.
Had a listener
that
send
guy?
this to me. He wanted us to talk about it. This is from the world-famous website xnxx.com. This is entitled "Fucking Stepsis in the Ass." So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. This is
That's a good website.
Here we go. There we go. They're showing all their sites. Okay, here we go. This is good.
My name is Dava Fox, and my daughter Mandy has an anal fixation. I don't even know, like, how this happens. I don't stick anything up my anus, so I don't know where she got this from.
Why the long face?
Mandy
I've seen this.
had a pen of her anus. A pen. My favorite pen. I'll put it.
Mandy put her mom's favorite pen in her anus.
Oh.
Who has a
That's a
favorite pen?
basic-ass pen.
Yeah, it's just a regular
Yeah.
black Bic.
Yeah, it looks
No,
like-
those are my favorite pens too. I'm
Yeah,
with,
but there's
Buy a pack of
they're a
them.
dime a dozen. I mean, you have, it's not like it's a.
you can keep that one.
Is that a shower? She rinsing it off in the shower?
It's like a Mont Blanc.
No, she's penning her anus. Here, we'll
looks like
continue.
she's
This is a good mom. They obviously have a healthy relationship with the
Tom's
teen.
uncomfortable.
Anything on my ass, really. I started off with a pen because I didn't know, how deep I could go, really. And then
What
Well,
happened?
you had an idea, right? I mean,
Who stopped?
First of all, it's
you've
not
seen
about
your own
that.
doo-doo.
Loading era.
It's not about, right?
Yeah, you're
I mean,
right.
It's not about depth with a pen. It's about width.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you can get an idea of the depth using your own doo-doo, right? It's like right? Well,
To see how long.
well, I'm saying, like,
No, because the-
how
No,
long
because it
you're like
curls
that.
up in
It
there.
curls. It goes like
curls
this.
up in there.
Your
Pen won't
intestines.
curl up.
Oh, okay. Well,
Here,
It might straighten it out like that.
now it reloaded. I'll continue.
anything on my ass, really. I started off with a pen because I didn't know,
Of course.
how deep I could
No,
go.
she didn't know.
And then I put a cucumber up my butt because it was bigger and it was more dick-shaped.
There we go.
And
Just buy a
it was pretty
dildo.
long and it felt really good.
Mandy has a cucumber of her anus. A cucumber.
It's my favorite
Now I have
cucumber.
all these veggies.
like
I'm
how
just
she's
so
doing it
paranoid. I
in the
have to, like,
kitchen.
Well, where else would you do it? That's where the fucking vegetables are, you idiot.
right
What
from
are
the
you do in the goddamn garage in the sauna? You do it on the roof of the house?
Well, no, I'm just saying you couldn't take the cucumber to your room
No.
and close the door. You had to literally drop trowel and right in front of the refrigerator.
Yeah, because
can't
if you
help yourself.
if you get caught, you can drop the cucumber. It looks natural in the kitchen. If you get caught in your room with a cucumber and you drop it, people will be like, "What the fuck's this cucumber doing in your room?"
It's
yeah,
just
but
not sanitary.
she obviously wasn't very vigilant because her mom came in and was appalled, and she never stopped in the front of the kitchen.
Well,
on the
listen to what
floor.
her mom says. Just here, continue.
double clean them because I don't know if she stuck them up her anus.
She has to double clean the
Double-
cucumbers before she
Yeah.
makes a
Double-
salad because she doesn't know if
Smart
Mandy's
move.
putting up her anus.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting. I don't know where she got this from. I was walking in the living room and she was bent over with a dildo up her anus. Again, something else up her anus.
When I found out about her secret, I was blown away.
This is her brother.
Who's that? Her legit brother?
This is her brother. Yeah, this is her legit brother, Seth.
That's kind of weird.
Then my mom had a solution, and I love my sister, and I'd do anything to help her, but this kind of seemed like it might be crossing some lines.
Guys, I'm getting blood flow.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the mom now is going to stone the mom. Okay. Let's just do the math here. The mom, her favorite pen, up the anus. Cucumbers for her salad, up the anus. Right now, you're watching the mom find her putting the mom's dildo in her anus.
Oh, it's her dildo.
Fix this problem once and for all. So
That's a stretch.
I suggested that he stick his big cock up her anus.
There you go. Like any good mom would. If you have a problem with your daughter putting pins and cucumbers in her anus, then you have her brother put their dick in the anus. And that'll solve it. Bingo, bango, bongo.
What do you think it is? Okay, did they have no idea going into this porno shoot, or did someone write this down? Like, that's what I really want to know. Like,
This is 100% improv.
yeah, okay, because that's what I'm mainly.
They have a basic idea, but then they let them improv. Yeah,
so
sure.
that's the problem, and why we get these things that are so absurdly stupid.
Well, they're not known for their act.
Also, who chose for the mother to say anus instead of ass?
Right.
Because
Were they trying to be more clinical with
I think
anus?
so.
Thanks to the listener who sent me that. And
okay.
also, thank you for not sending me that.
Let's
ever
look at
again.
this. So,
Is that as bad as the memes?
does anybody even want this?
A pen in their anus?
No.
I don't.
But this backstory buildup that obviously took them.
Oh, it goes on
time.
longer too. There's more. There's way more.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
What is it supposed to be like a Dr. Phil type situation?
Yeah. It's like shot
she's talking about her daughter, like
It's like
Right.
basically like The Office, but it just pins in your anus.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a first person shoot,
It's a
deal, one
little bit,
camera.
sprinkle some
some
Dundies on it and call it a day.
What I'm most curious about is, okay, I understand, like, we have to produce pornography content, right? That's their job, right? So then they have, like, there's certain themes, like, it's always, I'm guessing pornography that has some sort of story along with it is more enjoyable for people. Like, that's why they keep doing this. Like, if they just do straight gonzo, like, literally just no story, just people having sex, is probably less appealing. Maybe?
I have a.
It's gotta be.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Okay.
I do have a question for you, and I figure you would know this, or Andy would probably know this too. Logic Man, who worked in pornography. Why call it gonzo? Because that sounds terrible. Why not call it no story porn?
You're right.
Like, gonzo to me makes me think that a Muppet with a big curly blue dick is gonna nose dick your puss with his gonzo nose. Like,
that has to be a porno, right?
It's the first where Gonzo uses his nose to fuck someone. Yeah,
Gonzo porn.
Like, remember the movie Roxanne with Steve? I was going to say with Stevie Wonder, with Steve Martin.
Yeah.
He had a long. It's a retelling of an extremely famous tale. I can't remember the name of it. Somebody in the Twitch chat room will correct me here. But, like, I've seen a porno where a guy with a big nose noses a girl. Yeah, I've seen the noses.
Oh,
So
I don't want that.
So my question
want
is,
that?
I said I don't want
Yeah,
that.
good girl. You did not want that.
what is the
I thought you said you
reason
wanted that. I'm like, what the fuck?
they even?
I like the backstory. Personally, when I watch porn, I like a little bit, just a tiny bit. I guess like a fast glimpse of it, and then fast forward.
Well,
right
how
to
much
the
story is too much story? I feel like this is
Just
too
when
much
I know
story.
that that's her mom and that's her brother, that was enough to know. I'm like, okay, I
The
can fast
taboo.
forward to
Okay,
when
because
the taboo weirdness of it. Yes.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, is it the production company that filmed this, the directors there? Is it that he wants to go into depth into a story because he's not fulfilled and, like, he wants to provide extra backstory and he thinks this is going to be more entertaining to the whole film?
Yeah.
Like,
Because
is that
there's
it's so stupid?
so much out there that they just have to do something a little bit different,
set
a little
'em-
longer to set them apart from the other.
But do
10 billion.
Is it going to affect the views of it? Is it like comedy or absurdity? Does that make it like
well, they were trying to be funny here, right? Like they're trying to be funny with the putting a pin in her anus.
It's so, but usually comedy doesn't necessarily enhance your pornography experience. Right?
By the way, you guys got mad at me. You guys got fucking mad at me on the BDM show talking about sticking Duke from G.I. Joe's foot in my ass, and this girl's putting pins in her ass. It's a thing. You ever put anything in your ass? When you're a kid. I told these motherfuckers a story about when I was a kid.
What'd you put in your ass?
That was on the BDM show. You don't have to say it on this show.
We're giving up the goods.
Then you got to buy it.
I had my finger and I had a little bullet up there once.
A bullet?
A real bullet?
Yeah, not like the big, the little mini bullet.
Oh, I thought you meant like a bullet. Like I thought you put like a shotgun shell.
I was curious about what it felt like when I was vibrating.
That could lose that thing.
Yeah.
I didn't go all the way.
Doesn't have any hand guards like a sword. You need something.
Yeah, your butt will eat stuff.
You can. Oh, and I put preparation H up there.
The suppositories.
Yeah,
they'll go.
That feeling where it eats it, isn't that the weirdest feeling? Where it goes, and your butt just
that's
sucks
why you
up
can't
into
put stuff in your ass.
That is a weird feeling.
That's why you can't just put random. You can't put a jelly bean in there. You'll never see it again.
Like you stick it, and then as soon as it breaks the barrier, it just goes. It just sucks it up, and you get that feeling in your stomach, like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, Tom, remember when he had his Fisher, he was having to get a lot of
so he knows what
like enemas. So he knows that feeling. There is a point of no return where it'll push it out in the beginning. The suppository, like you put it in, and it'll
foreign object. Yeah.
Nope. And then if you go past like the warning area, your ass will go and eat it.
Mm-hmm. And you feel it in your stomach, in your guts.
Yeah, I don't like that feeling. And then it melts, and then you start leaking.
Oh, it's the worst. And you feel like you have to fart, and it's like...
What's happening, Tom? You lost control.
Like shit just comes out.
He knows.
I just thought of the thing that happened to me.
You look like... Okay, hold on a second. You look like you were having a bit of a flashback. You're like,
You look like when we're panicking, when we're thinking about panicking, and people are talking, you're not listening. He's like,
you all right?
I made the mistake of telling my son that, because...
this could go anyway. I don't know what he's fucking
I've been trying to get him to eat more fiber and vegetables.
Not the cucumber.
Because he's had hard poops.
Put this pin in your ass.
And I saw him struggling one day, and I'm telling him, this is not good. You're eating too much cheese and not enough vegetables, and it's causing your poops to be hard.
Yep.
And he wasn't listening to me or whatever.
Where were you guys having this conversation? On a park bench, at the dinner table?
He was on the toilet, and I'm like...
You're feeding the kid, right? Why can't you just not give him fucking cheese?
You don't understand.
He wants the cheese, Tom. I gotta give him the cheese.
Tom gives his kids anything they want.
Whatever they want, Seth. I can't help myself.
No, you're both wrong. He actually makes his own cheese.
I make my own nut milk now, too.
He's a very accomplished monger.
Anyway, so I explained to him that his daddy at one time got this.
No.
I did the same thing. I was eating too much cheese, even though it wasn't.
The Vietnam have a tendency to be cheeseman.
I think it was from...
Doesn't your middle name mean cheese? Chisholm means cheese in ancient Indian.
Look
that up.
Yeah,
Chisholm.
Right.
More like alcohol abuse, less cheese, but I don't want to...
Dehydrated from alcohol.
I don't want to tell him that. I leave that part out. Although I did tell him, I was
cheese flavored White Claw.
I was like, you can get this thing called a Fisher, and it's a cut on your butt.
How come you've never said that to Chris Fisher from your last name is a butt cut.
Yeah, it does mean cheese.
You're Chris.
I told you. I'm not bullshitting you people. The name Chisholm means cheese.
Chris Butt Cut. That's what I'm calling you. Anyway.
And you're Tommy Cheese Van.
And then, he brought it up. My mother-in-law was there.
Oh, no.
And then some other family members, and Marco.
No wonder you were having a mind meltdown.
Yeah. So he was like, I forgot why he brought it up, but it was during dinner time. He's like,
cheese sandwich.
Daddy ate so much cheese, he got a butt cut. That's called a Fisher. Chris Fisher.
He's like, Daddy, the Fisher.
His middle name means cheese.
And then my mother-in-law was like, what? And I'm like, fisherman. He said, fisherman. Fisherman. I'm a good fisherman. And he's like, no. Like, I was hitting him in the head. Anyway. Don't tell your kids shit because they horrible at keeping secrets.
And apparently don't feed your kids shit either. Cheese and
they want the cheese, Seth. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Come on, Tom.
Sometimes you got to
be a dad
cheese.
and you say no, you get your celery stick.
Every Saturday morning.
Oh, my God.
I spilled the tequila. I'm sorry. I was going to say, let's do the...
healthy. Oh, stick stinks.
He's on his way, by the way.
Every Saturday morning, my daughter for breakfast has 50 slices of bacon.
Are you serious?
A whole
It's fine. She's
pound.
Okay, maybe not 50. I understand
50.
that, but that's
50. She's an athlete. So I told her it's it's the only thing she eats.
She's single-handedly causing global warming from the amount of pigs she's.
Oh yeah. We're a pig family.
Do you want to take a shot?
All right, let's do this shot. Do you want me to do a Butler toast?
I don't even get a fake shot anymore.
Do you want me to do it in the? Do you want me to do it in the style of Butler?
Yes.
Okay. Here's to the thoughts in the cooking pond. When they find something and they say something son. And look at those titties and say something appropriate. And boo 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 and I never come to work. There you go.
Yeah, cheers. Here's to Fairvilla. Ooh.
I like to kill.
Gross.
So, recently we've been watching America's Funniest Home Videos as a family, right? And
That's still on, huh?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's now hosted by
the host?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Cheese nerds.
Yeah, they.
He's not good at all. He's
No.
fucking
Sucks.
I
does he
watch
really?
it too. Like we
He's
watch.
awful.
How do you suck at that?
I think I might have gotten you on this. I think I texted you one night and told you and Crystal, I said, this is good for the boys. They'll love it. Maisie belly laughs. Oh, she'll laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
But only when people fall down.
when really
He's
get
not
hurt.
the worst ever because they did a tag team duo.
Daisy Fuentes.
Yeah, Daisy Fuentes and some dude.
Yeah.
They were horrible. That was a bad year.
Yeah, that was
Then
bad.
Tom Bergeron
Actually,
took
kind of hurt my
over.
feelings. I like
Saget was the
I like the
best, right?
Daisy.
You like the duo?
Yeah.
No!
Yeah, I did.
That was after Saget.
Saget was the best, right?
Yeah. Saget's top. Then it goes Bergeron. Then it goes Alfonso. Then the duo to me. Yeah.
Alfonso's the worst.
No, Alfonso's the worst.
No,
He's
I
the
like
worst because he does the corniest things. He'll say things. He's like, some of you guys wrote in and said that you wanted some non-Halloween clips. Well, here they are. And then
he's corny.
not even like
funny,
an Egyptian.
not
and
even
I'm like,
funny cheesy
I
stuff.
like it.
You know what he's doing that I don't like? It's very
White.
It's very step it and fetch. It's very like he's being like. He's like whiting himself up, and then when he's
white-facing.
and then he says things
can't
that are
white-face.
would be considered traditional, like let's say urban things, and he over exaggerates them in a way that makes me think like it's a weird racist thing. I don't like it.
There's
It's
also
weird.
there is an awkward thing when Alfonso Ribeiro goes and does the ending interview with the family, and if it happens to be a black family, like he starts talking differently
Yes!
to
Really?
appeal to them.
I'm telling you,
and
it's
I'm
a
like, don't
thing.
do it, Alfonso! You're doing it.
Samantha Hart.
That's awful.
Next time you're watching it, wait and see
Leave him
him
alone.
Wait and see if he does anything that would be considered to racist people urban. Anything that's
Okay.
considered like
he changes
like
it
black.
due to
watch
who he's
where
talking to,
watch
yeah.
where he goes.
But
and,
anyway.
and it makes me
To
uncomfortable.
to
I'm like, just
racist
be
people.
yourself. Just be yourself. You're acting like a weirdo.
Yeah,
Maybe that isn't. Maybe he's just a cross in between the two cultures. Like he's just culturally.
I think he
mixed.
may be a little Carlton, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
he
But it's awkward.
leans towards that because that's all he's got.
just
I don't know.
Or he thinks he has to play up the role of Carlton.
He's,
and like,
listen,
you
Alfonso,
suck.
if you're listening, you're better than the duo, in my opinion.
No way.
I hated the duo.
Juan in our Twitch chat room says, my aunt is friends with Daisy Fuentes. Well, get us an interview. I'd love to talk to Daisy Fuentes.
Yeah.
I used to think she was so hot.
She's pretty.
And I got a blowjob from a girl who told me she was Daisy Fuentes' cousin. I've told this story before. It was my only...
Was her last name Fuentes?
It was Fuentes.
Yeah.
And
Isn't it
it
great
was,
when you hook up with girls that look like celebrities?
it was my
I've done
only
that before.
public blowjob.
What do
Really?
you mean? Where? What was that?
I was tapping a keg, and I was pumping up the keg, and she just pulled it out and
Wait, where were
like
you
a
tapping
party?
the keg?
at a party.
And then
In front of people?
Yeah, no, the people weren't, but
Okay.
you know, we tried to
I got one of
finish
those at a
things.
club right out in the middle of a club.
inside the club.
Like Dancing Bear?
by a girl that was a child celebrity.
Oh my god! I'm glad you finished that.
Well, no, she's not child now. She was like 22.
It was
at the
Millie
time.
Bobby Brown.
No. She was 22 at the time. God damn it, she was 22 at the
Drake.
time.
You and Drake.
No, she was 22 at the time. I was like 19, 20. This was when I first moved to Orlando.
Your parents don't allow
I was like,
you
if
to
this is
have
Orlando, I was
a
like,
cell
I'm staying
phone.
there. Like that's what kind of sold me on Orlando. It was nice. I'm not gonna say who. I'll tell you off air.
No, all right.
Tell us who.
Tell us.
No, fuck. No,
Don't
I'm
be a
not-
pussy.
Come on. Give us the initials.
Was it the sister from Alf?
Oh my god!
No.
I don't know why that was.
Oh my God!
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know.
Kill me! Hey, this hypochondriac meathead's getting a blowjob.
So,
People were walking by. I was just like,
Hey,
I don't know what
Willie!
to do. I was like, okay.
so back to America's Funniest Home Videos. So,
Alyssa Milano.
I wish.
We watch as a family.
Now she's got triangle titties.
Not now, yeah.
And tell me if you guys agree with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm watching America's Funniest Home Videos, the same shit. They also they put in like shit from the 80s that I recognize, like they recycle videos.
Before,
yeah.
I mean, you got to think,
especially in montages.
They probably have shit tons of videos, and don't you think that they probably get a lot of stuff that's inappropriate?
Oh, yeah.
How much child porn has been sent to AFV?
Oh,
a lot, right?
Think?
Yeah.
Because
people don't have the same filters. They don't.
Not
people are
child
idiots.
porn, but like nudity that's inappropriate for anybody to see. I think that is because people don't understand boundaries or what's legal or
they show kids' butts all the time on there.
They do, but they won't.
That's the only reason I watch.
So,
not true.
So while I'm watching it, I have the tendency to point out the videos that I believe and I think really are faked, right? Because this is people have been faking videos, and this used to happen back in the 80s and 90s. It's always happened through America's Funniest Home Videos because of the popularity of the show. People want to get on the show, and they can't actually capture a legitimate moment like a spontaneous.
Right.
And so they figure out a way to fake it and make it look real enough to submit the video, and then it gets played, but it's fake. So I'm watching the videos, and if I can spot a tell that it's fake, usually it's like, why is this? Like the number one thing is, why are they even videoing?
Yeah, why are you filming this?
And that's how I can tell for the most part that it's fake is when it's not a security camera, because security cameras like they pick up motion, but when it's not, I'm like, why are you filming a dad watching TV, and then next thing you know, like something falls on him, or I'm like, this is fake.
You might have seen the same one that I saw. Tell me if you saw this one. It was like an old barn that looked like nobody wanted anymore, that needed to be torn down. And a tree. And the guy was cutting the tree. Now, of course, you know that the tree is going to fall and smash the dilapidated barn. And of course it did. But like I pointed out to Andrea when we were watching it, I'm like, look at the way he's cutting. He's cutting. He knows which way this fucking tree's gonna fall.
And then they're like, oh no!
Yeah, they're like, oh, you ruined the barn. It's like it was a hunk of shit. You didn't even want it. I know what you did there. You faked it.
Yeah, and then they thought they got drunk the night before, and they're like, hey, we should pretend like this tree fell through the barn and it was a mistake, and we'll submit it to America's Funniest Videos. It'll be famous. You're gonna know what it is. By the way, the rednecks tip top of the mountain is to get onto America's Funniest Home Videos. Like it's been all like my childhood dream is to
tell
submit
everybody at church the next day. You know?
Is that really the top of the thing? I think like World Star would be more like popular.
Too young.
He's already on Fail Army.
That's to a different demographic.
He's on Fail Army.
Yeah, Tom is the first video of this video called like Epic Dads.
Epic Dad Fails,
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for my check.
You know what's funny is that one
apparently they do not.
That also was a little bit faked because I know that it sounds like your son's rammed into the Coppertone van, but the camera just panned away. I thought that.
No, if you go back and you analyze it,
I thought you grabbed the back of the Power Wheels before he smashed it. I don't know about that.
Then to show my face.
Did you submit it?
Did
a listener submit it?
Now that the Fail Army owns it, I can't submit anything. They own the all intellectual rights of everything.
Did you sign it away?
I signed everything.
No, don't sign it away.
I signed my contracts. They said we own everything.
Make your own fake video and send it in to America's Funniest Home Videos. See if you can get on.
I'm going to. I
dress up like Alfonso, completely blackface.
Yeah, okay. So anyway,
that'll be great, and then put a ballpoint pen in your ass.
So my wife.
Then I kick the watermelon off your head, and it would mean two things.
I would watch that.
So when I say and I yell out fake when I see the fake video, she gets pissed and she's like, "Doubt you're ruining it!" Like she gets mad at me, and I'm like,
"You ruin memes for her. You ruin cheese for your sons."
But I tell her, I'm like, "It shouldn't
ruin her.
It shouldn't be funny anymore if it's fake. Like the fact that it's fake, it means it's not funny, and we need to all realize this and move on."
It pisses me off. There's so many fake videos out there now that get millions and millions of hits. Like the ones of like the guys pulling up in like the shitty car, asking a girl for a date, and then he pulls up with like a Lamborghini and says, "Oh, thanks for driving my car." All those are fucking fake.
The one that really got me and made me off. mad was the robot one that where the robots are like the guys are shooting the robots with guns.
Oh yeah,
and they're kicking the robot over. It's very much like the Boston Dynamics or whatever, like those sort of things. And like I fucking hate that video so much.
People think it's real. That's stupid.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to be dead soon. I'm like, no, that's fake. That's fucking fake.
Stupid people.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah.
Go ahead and he can throw some cans on, and we'll get him set up here.
So
we haven't seen this guy in forever, man.
Yeah, we haven't talked to Tom in a
He
while.
also doesn't age. You look exactly the same.
I know.
You don't age, man. You look exactly the same.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's good.
May have looked like 45 years old when I was.
No.
Right. Well, no, that is a thing, though. If you,
do we look the same age at least?
as long as you, Tom looks way younger. His hair.
Yeah, he looks healthier. Like he doesn't have cancer.
Yeah.
You have anus cancer.
Hair does a lot to make you look
that
better.
is the way I'm going to die. Is something.
And
with
look
my
how
anus.
there's not one gray in that fucking head of hair.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You've got beautiful like little kid hair. It's like
it's not receding.
It is
at
a
all.
little kid's hair.
it looks fresh. No, it looks like young. Like my daughter's hair, you can tell that she doesn't have a
It's
lot
all
of mileage
feathery,
on her.
feathery
You
and
know? Yeah.
feathery.
Let me see yours.
Yeah. I'll fucking show you my hair right now.
Oh, you got a man.
Yeah, try to fucking bully me. I'll bully you right back in my balls in your
Never
face.
mentioned that.
beat me
Yeah,
up.
that's why I've always stayed away from that. I go for the
What, the
ears
hair?
or the
Ears are okay, but hair's not okay?
Yeah, no.
No, it's not. It's not that sensitive.
He's got a bird's nest down there.
I've seen it.
There was like an acorn or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, filthy Tom Lawlor.
He's here,
How
he's
you doing,
here.
Tom? So now we're gonna go into talking about you guys, and Seth's got a fight coming up.
No, grappling match.
I
not a fight.
thought you said you
I
saw.
want to fight.
Is this
can't
a
stop.
fight or is this just guys fucking playing handicrafts? Like I want to see some fucking smash mouth fucking.
It's the stuff where people that aren't aware be like, stop hugging him on the ground, stand up. That's so gay. Ooh, that sort of shit.
Look at
I'm doing that.
Well, that's what I usually do in the crowd.
that's Tom saying that the entire time.
I'm in his corner yelling that.
Yeah.
Now, before we go to that, I have another theory. I want to test it with Seth. I want to ask Tom about this because you might disagree. But I have this theory that nothing is that good. Okay, now follow me, right? Follow me.
Well, that's obvious with life.
It's
You really don't like fun. If you're,
my God,
if you're ratcheting up your hatred of fun to nothing is never that good, fucking A, man, I don't even know how to help you anymore,
No.
right, Sam? Like, this guy's like, that's like probably the most negative thing I think you've ever said.
Well, here's the thing, though, but it can be, you could turn it into a positive because if you always wanted certain things you'll never probably be able to achieve or get, then you can at least take solace in the fact that it's probably not that good.
But solace is not fun.
No, okay, now follow me with this. All right, so.
Like your sex life and stuff?
No. I'm talking about.
Boy, I really did piss him off. Now he's attacking you.
I'm more leaning towards dreams and things that you could buy. All right. So follow me, because I think, and Daniel's brought this up a long time ago with my dream about living on a sailboat, and he's brought up multiple times. He's like,
well, it's just not going to happen.
Thank you. Yeah,
Well, you're not the type of person.
No,
that
I know,
could do
yeah.
that. That's a little
Well,
different.
no, for a while he was convinced he had a German man that he was taking sailing lessons
Right.
from. That never happened. He's on
It's going
searching
to.
Craigslist
The
for
kids ruined it.
sailboats.
A German
That never
man?
fucking happened.
Why a German?
So you admit it,
They
kids
don't know
ruin
shit.
everything.
They don't know shit about sailing.
No, this guy knows. He
My uncle's a captain.
Yeah.
Lived on a sailboat his whole life.
yeah, that's what this guy is.
So, but anyway,
Why would I make that up?
I don't know.
it all it kind of the theory being, though, if my dream and the fantasy of doing this is probably better than the reality, right? Because the reality is probably really hard. There's lots of things I'm not thinking about. I'm just thinking about like sailing
All you're
away on
thinking
the
about is
sunset.
walking out at
Wishful
dusk,
thinking.
nude, smoking a joint, and having a cold beer.
Yes.
And the weather's fantastic,
So-
and your wife's got her tits out, and right, like that sounds. I think
fantasy,
anybody
yeah.
says that sounds pretty
Yeah.
rad.
So,
like even to like.
I'm there just watching.
Like Sam, like Captain Sam comes out, her husband Travis out there. He's got his dong out. He's fucking suntanned.
And cement tits hanging out? Yeah.
but the
Did you? He just Jersey Shore you too. He just goes, yeah.
What just happened?
the reality.
Am I getting bullied?
I was was giving you a compliment.
Yeah, the monkey over here got horny.
I got blood flow again.
Sam on Sailboat,
Sam
tits
on
out,
was
Sam
topless.
dance.
I was getting excited.
But the reality is
Did you
probably
just change my show name?
Yeah, so I told you semantics was the
a lot of tight quarters, a lot of work, a shit ton of work involved.
Dangerous. It's dangerous.
So also, I got this theory too because like everybody, or at least a lot of guys, have dreamt about owning a Lamborghini, right? Like because as a kid, you're like you see a Lamborghini, Ferrari, you're like, oh shit,
Or a Hellcat.
I wish, because this goes into Hellcat too.
You know, I never wanted to own one of those because I just feel they're kind of douchey.
the joke's on you because I know it's douchey and I embrace the douchiness. I like it. It's funny because it's douchey.
How is the joke on us? I fail to see how the joke is on us.
Tom's got a good point. You know what? I'm glad you're here, Tom.
Well done, Tom.
Is an extra bully that can actually maybe beat up Seth?
How many layers of bullying are going on? Like, so you got
my
Seth
God.
bullying me,
like
bullying
Inception.
you. Tom is
Yeah.
bullying
See,
Seth.
when I bully Seth, I can
Seth
only
bullied
go.
Sam. Sam bullied back. Seth.
No, I wasn't giving Sam a compliment. Well, I'm on the equal terms with Sam. So.
Right.
It's a whole different level of bullying because when I bully Seth, there is a limit to like he can beat the shit out of me at any time.
Of course,
you know? So like
yeah.
I have to ride that lightning. But Tom though could bully him and probably beat the shit out of Seth.
Yeah.
Younger, been fighting
more hair, more fighting hair. He's got that fighting hair.
Tough. Anyway,
Fighting hair is ball. You're supposed to be ball when you fight.
I made up fighting hair. It's not even real.
It's way more
Mad
combat.
about fighting it.
Look how fucking mad he is. I'm like, he's
Samson
got-
drew his strength from his hair. How can you deny
I
that?
like telling Seth, I go, he's got that good fighting hair. Seth's like, oh, fuck your fighting hair. I'm like, that's not even a real thing, man.
It is kind of.
so
The Chinese had braids in the back with razors. They swung around and chopped people's heads off with.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
Really?
Yeah, and I could do that. I can grow hair back here. I should do
Well, you
that.
should
like
grow-
Goro,
do one.
like
Razor
fucking
hair.
Goro, razor hair.
oh, how much would it take?
How about
Yes.
the Goro challenge? The Goro challenge.
Let me
you have a full Bozo,
Let me get a
right?
girlfriend first.
Right now, I'll put up 1,000 of my own money.
I'll put up 1,000 too.
All right. $2,000.
I want full Bozo as long as Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan.
Wait, what's full bow? Like the fucking size?
Nutty Professor style.
Make him wear red and yellow like Hulk Hogan.
You
all the
can
time.
keep the sides short, but the long Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan
you got to
Bozo
have a
back.
long, straight hole. And then
One layer.
Maybe if Sam throws in a G2, I might do it for
I don't have a G.
How about,
You know who I work for?
I thought he was being super inappropriate. I
I'm
didn't know what
using
that
Sam's salary.
God damn it!
So, anyway, but to go back
Use
to
Butler's. He's not here.
You're right, I'll use Butler's. But the Lamborghini, like, talking to Roop, who owns a Lamborghini, and he's told
lot
us
of work.
before,
Yeah.
he's like, it's got to be started. Like, if you don't start it for a certain amount of time, it's a race car, then it gets problems. Every piece that goes, the tire gets flat or whatever. Like, the tires are fucking 5,000. He told us that it's kind of a pain in the ass.
It's like
And
a Harley. If you don't run it enough, then it goes bad. The seals go bad.
so I just
Well, it's
think
not daily driving. It's supposed to be driven on the weekends. And
so I just think that all these things that we all dream about having and fantasize about having, if you actually had them, it probably wouldn't be what you think it is, and it's not that good. Like, how is driving?
I've never had an orgy, have you?
I have not. Have you had one?
He's only had sex with one woman his whole life.
Have you, Tom? No. Here's the thing. The orgy, I imagine,
Tom's
is
had an
good.
orgy.
I'm the one-man orgy.
What does that mean?
Wait a minute.
I've seen
the
it.
one-man orgy.
Is that just me?
That's a good
That's
nickname.
almost better than filthy.
That
It's
is a
just
good
you
nickname.
jacking off in the middle of the room. Like, don't get
Yeah,
here.
but it's a room like the Apple Store, so it's super fancy.
Yeah, real nice.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Although not that room, because I'd be like, where did it go? I can't find it.
I think your thing is when you get what you want, like say you get the Lamborghini, I think the feeling is you always want more. Like, oh, I got this now, but now I want this, I want this. There's always like, you need more, you want more type thing.
well-
But yeah, I get what you're saying where it's like pain in the ass and hassle, but that's still way better than not having it. I still rather say I had a Ferrari and have to deal with the problems with it than say I don't have a Ferrari.
But the problem is, though, you had this fantasy of having a Ferrari, and then when you finally got it, it's like, girls aren't running after my
Yes,
car.
they
Like,
probably will.
I can't go over speed bumps. I had to replace the windshield.
I can't go over
10,000.
speed
You know,
bumps.
it's like, it's not good. It's
Yeah,
like,
speed bumps in the
fuck it.
Hellcat.
Can I ask you a serious question
Yeah.
about this theory you have? Have you ever had anything within your life that you thought would be be awesome. No, I'll give
Everything.
you. I'll give you. I'll give you a first
Except for
thing.
kids,
Like I knew that you really wanted your one wheel for the longest time.
Yeah.
I am bringing this up in front of Tom, so hopefully he'll bully you for being a one wheel nerd. But there is a point here. I knew you wanted it. You researched it. You saved your money. You bought it. You got it, and you loved it.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
like
yeah.
So it held.
Yes, but
Has there ever been anything that you've wanted so bad, saved, gone through the same process, gotten it, and then you're like, "Fuck, this sucks,"
and not that it sucks,
or it's not as good?
What about those remote control roaches?
well, I'm more talking about like
Don't talk about
what
those.
everybody in society.
That sounds fun.
Because I do want to.
They had fucking lights on.
Police
They'd be cool
lights.
if they didn't have police lights on them.
Oh, why? Just tape those. Put black tape over them.
No,
Like-
it was a mess.
What
I threw mine away with a hunk of shit.
What I want to do is I want to interview people like once a month that have like extraordinarily
Elaborate things.
big nice things or whatever that we as
It doesn't
society
just have to be a thing. It can be an experience. It's like you with a musical. To some people,
Yeah.
going and seeing Mamma Mia is a dream.
Yeah.
You went there and you're like, this fucking sucks.
Well, okay, I've been to Europe. I've been to Paris. Like it was good, but it was
Just say it's a
it's not that
a
good.
fucking shit.
No, it was
Hates it.
cool. I liked it, but it like
Tom, you got anything
for
that
the
you thought was
experience-
going to be awesome, then you experienced it, and you're like, eh.
Yeah, like you ever,
No, I've actually had the opposite happen recently with that Popeye's chicken sandwich.
What'd you
oh,
think?
you
What'd
actually
think?
thought it was
Yeah,
better.
I loved it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it
it's
was gonna
good.
be. I thought it was way better than I anticipated.
I liked it too.
Is it worth getting stabbed over? That's all I'm
No,
saying. That's why
not that good.
I've got a good amount of muscle mass, so I would take it. Yeah.
Well, he can fight. You know, if I go
Right.
in there, I'm getting stabbed. I'm going to bleed out.
But-
I mean,
but
Tom will, set him straight.
It's not
Get his
as
sandwich.
though, but it's not as good as the hype around
I
it.
think
Right?
you should stab everyone in line waiting for that fucking chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Did you think it was as good as all the hype? Because it goes along with the Popeye's chicken sandwich. It's like it's all this
No, but
fighting
wait,
and shit
we
is not
did
that
it.
good.
But we did it first when Sam found out
and
about
it wasn't
this.
that good. I mean, it was
No,
fine.
How
no, it
dare
was that
you.
good. When Sam
it wasn't
found out
blown-
about it, it wasn't blown up. It was like Popeyes has this new chicken sandwich. It's going to be a Chick-fil-A sandwich killer. We had the sandwich and we're like, this is a fucking good sandwich. Yeah,
Yeah, but it
then
wasn't that
then it got
good.
out of control.
It's not
I
as
think
good as
you're-
the hype.
I think you're applying the hype that we hadn't even had yet.
Right.
No, I
To
understand
it.
that.
You know what I mean? But like, I thought it was really good.
But now that the hype is, I can go back and like I've eaten it, and I'm like, it's not. It won't blow your fucking mind. You won't be like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever eaten. It's like, oh,
You got to put it in perspective, though. We were just saying it was a really delicious sandwich,
price.
and it was only $3.99. It was huge.
Yeah.
Now I did have another one on Sunday.
Not as good?
Not the same. They've made them smaller.
Yeah, I heard that too.
The breading is a little different.
You guys just need to go
Thin
and get
pickles.
Speaking of sandwiches, you go get a 7x7 at frickin' Steak and Shake. That's
No,
all.
I
It's
can't
going
eat
out of
that.
business. Have you heard about
Yeah,
that?
I don't
Steak and
care.
Shake
What's a
is,
7x7?
Really? You don't know what a 7x7 is? 7 patties for $7. It's a giant freaking
Yeah.
cheeseburger.
It's a real thing?
Oh, it's a real.
Yeah.
It's not on the menu. You got to ask for it.
The 7
And then
by
when they
7.
don't, when they don't want to make it for you, you got to yell at them and make them make it. And they'll make it. They've done.
You have to
Did
bully
you have
them.
to calm yourself down there?
I
You were
got
like-
excited a little bit.
Yeah,
So
you're like, so these are
Oh, there's a sandwich
I
called
got
the
excited.
7x7. It's 7 patties and
for
if-
$7.
and if they won't
7
make it-
slices of cheese.
Uh-huh.
A lady at night was going to make it for me. It was way packed, and she's like, "I don't have enough cooks on the grill to make 7 patties right now." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to order 3 fucking doubles. I'm going to order 3 double cheeseburgers." She's like, "Okay, I'll make it for her." She's got to make 6, 7 patties anyway. If I order 3 fucking double
Yeah,
cheeseburgers,
isn't that easier?
I don't fucking know. Stupid.
Go back
About $15 an hour, dummies.
to what Tom was talking about.
Sorry.
Though. Do you find you're a pretty optimistic person?
I mean, here's the thing.
No, he might be more negative than I am now.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not negative.
You have high
You
expectations.
shit on everything.
No, I do shit on everything, but I am optimistic about. I'm realistic. Let's say that I'm not really optimistic or pessimistic. I'm more realistic.
Yeah, but in reality, there's like in your reality, I see very little positivity.
Right.
Well, no, but it makes me feel better, and it should make everybody feel better that Ferraris or yachts or all this shit that people dream about having is probably not that good.
Yeah, but then it gives me the opposite because all you're doing is taking away my will to want to achieve things by telling me that it's not that good. So I might as well just fucking kill myself.
Right.
'cause
We're all
nothing's
just
that
here to
great.
get out of here, right?
Well, you're never gonna get it anyway. Like everybody
Oh my God.
everybody's
Come
listening.
on,
Me,
man.
all of us, we're never gonna buy a Ferrari. It's too like we.
No, with that attitude, we're not.
our life.
my,
is there.
my lease is up in 3 months. I'm gonna get something stupid.
You're going to get
You
a
don't-
$3,000 down payment on your Ferrari when you have your razor tail that you
There's
grow.
a big difference between a Hellcat and a Ferrari.
Goro challenge.
Agreed, but yeah.
I mean,
have you figured out what your next car is going to be?
If you
I'm
grow
looking at a bunch of things.
If you grow out that Goro, go ahead. I'll wait.
I was looking at R8s, Audi R8s, like the V10 things are pretty cool. I was looking at the ultimate douchebag mobile, the G-Wagon, Mercedes G-Wagon.
I don't think that's a douchebag mobile. I think the Audi's more douchey than the G-Wagon.
Really?
Yeah, G-Wagons hold their value. It's a good investment. You can sell it later and get some money for it.
Everybody I see driving them is kind of like a pretentious type of guy who want to be.
There's a guy around here that has one that's just like Joe normal and is old. But he keeps it really nice, and he's just like a normal guy. He just you can tell he's really into G-Wagon.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back from break, I want to talk to Tom Lawlor. I want to talk about Seth's upcoming fight because
it's not really a fight. It's
everyone calls it snuggle fest. They do call it fights. But
are you both trying to win?
We're fighting for first place. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying it's not a wrestling match where it's predetermined, right?
No, it's a jiu-jitsu match.
Okay, yeah. So
a no-gi jiu-jitsu match.
So you both are fighting in jiu-jitsu to win.
Yes, and he's not a 40-year-old dad. Yes,
so he's a 39-year-old dad.
And Seth reached out about us possibly sponsoring his shorts.
As long as you include the money you owe me for the wrestling show 2 years ago, we're good.
And we can put anything we want to in the shorts, right? Like the.
Oh, I thought I was just going to wear the spats that you gave me, or the Tom and Dan stuff.
No, you can get custom.
Oh, you want custom?
Fully custom.
Yeah, we got it. The whole day
with the arm bracelets and a headpiece.
It's all a picture of that girl with a pin in her butthole. Sponsored by
Bro. Anus on the back of your trunks.
I would, as long as it's allowed. I would.
Is that allowed? Talk to your federation or whatever it is, and see if you can get the anus trunks on.
They'll put gaffer tape over it so the whole thing. Like we can have just over the pin.
We can't show this. This is on News Channel 13.
All right, let's take a quick break.
God.
What music we got going?
This is the Growlers, which my dad used that as a term for pussy. He used to call my mom's vagina growler. It's funky. Enjoy this. It's from their new album, Natural Affair. This is Long Hot Night. We'll be right back with more A Mediocre Time.
A long hot night, town half asleep, and I was a beast. I could see underneath your mask you were beautiful.
You're gambling again, aren't you?
I promise, I'll get it back. There'll be more than enough for bills next month.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I can't live like this anymore.
Here he is, an almost defeated man with your favorite segment, hearing basically a person going crazy. It's Tom Van with Never Not Bet.
Lost again last week. 1-3.
You're a bit of an internet buzz, my friend.
I know.
A lot of people talking about you.
They're making fun of me. They're shitting on me because of how bad I am. Of course I'm bad.
What are Tommy and Max's picks this week? That's what everybody wanted.
No, they
were begging for that. They're like, let your son's pick. They'll do better than this fucking idiot. And I'm like, and I even got in there and I meant what I said is the only thing he cares about other than his family. And you guys you're going to break him. You're
That's
shitting
fine.
on him.
I deserve it. I don't know. And people said that. They're like, have anybody pick and see if you can do better. Well, that's the thing about the spread. The spread should make it about 50-50. So even if you just had a baby pick or my sons, they should have a 50-50 record. And I am now currently worse than 50-50.
Well,
so it means I'm worse than a baby.
If you want the excitement of real Smash Mouth marriage action, you should have had Crystal pick it, right?
Well, yeah.
And then she'll win, and then she'll never let you hear the end of it, and then you go out with your scuba tank on, and you just slowly walk into your pool, and you lay on the bottom until the nitrox runs out.
Here's the thing. Nothing's over till the season's over, and this is all about long term, and people have bad runs.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Even the pros have bad runs, and believe me, all these podcasts I listen to, they're doing shitty too, because a lot of times I'm listening to their handicaps, I'm like, oh, that sounds good, and then of course it's wrong.
What if you just didn't? What if you just shut the world out and did it on your own?
Well, I went with that route.
Really?
And this is my theory going forward.
Give me the games. Give me the games.
I'm looking at the games, and then I'm listening to people handicap and people talk about them, and if they're on the same logic that I am, then I'm just picking them. Anyway, you'll hate this first pick. but it's your favorite team. I'm taking. By the way,
no, you're not.
I'm taking Atlanta.
No!
Now I got them at plus 14 last night against New Orleans. I mean, that's a lot of points. A division rival. Atlanta historically has done well in New Orleans. Now I understand
it's one of the games that, because we're supposed to hate the Saints so much, it's the game you want to win no matter how your season's going.
Now, this doesn't sound good, but I hate this pick. I'm going against, Costanzing it.
Okay.
Because normally I look at Atlanta, and I bet against them. New Orleans is on fire at home. Drew Brees is playing well, but there's a statistic that says after home teams after a bye playing at home, I guess trend worse. If you're
I could see that,
after a bye playing away, they actually have a good record, but at home, anyway. So I'm taking the points here. I'm taking Atlanta plus 14. I checked this morning and it's gone back to 13.5. But if you can get 14, I got it last night. I still may bet it at 13.5.
I haven't even looked. Dan Quinn's still employed?
Yep, still employed.
That's weird. That is weird.
Anyway, this is just a points game.
Arthur
for me.
Blank, crazy old man. Throw some money at it, Arthur.
My second pick. This is what I've been doing. I've been betting Miami first half, and I've been doing well.
Okay.
That's my only win last week was Miami first half. And this game against the Colts, I'm taking Miami plus 6.5 first half. Jacoby's out. They got Hoyer in. Ty is out, and the Colts. I just like the way Miami's playing right now. They've covered, I think, their last 4 games. I don't trust them to win this game because I still question their motivation for the year, especially Cincinnati being.
You can't deny that they've been better.
They're better than a team out there. So right now they do not have their first overall pick. So anyway, I still like them first half, Miami plus 6.5. And my last money bet, the last side I'm taking is the Rams minus 3.5. And the line is moving right now, but I've been watching how Pittsburgh's been playing. I like Sean McVay after a bye against Pittsburgh. I've watched Pittsburgh win barely their last 2 games, and I just don't like how
that's the best out of the 3.
Rudolph's been playing.
This one.
Yeah, I like
this is the one I like the most.
So Rams minus 3.5, and then I got a 2-team 6-point teaser. I'm teasing Carolina up to 11.5 and Arizona up to 10.5 in those games.
Still no Cam, right?
Still no Cam,
but they're doing well.
They put them on IR, so that means now officially.
Well, they have some decisions to make because they've been doing all right without Cam.
Yeah,
actually. Arguably better without Cam.
Yeah, and I think the team now that Cam is on IR knows that this is their quarterback moving forward, so there's some motivation there. So I'm doing that teaser. Carolina plus 11.5, Arizona plus 10.5, teasing by 6 points. It's minus 120. And my beer bet and Market on Magnolia, in which I went and watched the games last Sunday. Great place to watch the game. I had some wings from the Woodfire Pizza place.
Good as hell.
Then I had a poke bowl because I
eat everything.
Yeah. Because there's 3 restaurants in there. There's a deli. You can get chopped salads and sandwiches.
If you're a fat kid, is the best place because they got full liquor, all the beers, and multiple restaurants.
Their bar is awesome and 3 different restaurants to choose from. I met some BDMs out there. I watched some games with Matt, all the 1 o'clock games. And this is my beer bet. I'm taking Cincinnati plus 10.5 against Baltimore.
Okay.
I actually put a little bit of money on this bet, but I don't trust it because a lot of people I know are on Baltimore in this game. But anyway, if you think this is going to be a loser, you can go to Market on Magnolia on Sunday and get a free Cigar City beer if I lose.
Delicious.
So anyway, do what you want at this point. I'm obviously not that good at this, but it is I still am looking at it. I still am working towards winning, and these are my bets.
We'll be back next week for another episode of Broken Man.
MarketOnMagnolia.com.
Welcome back to Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Oh, buddy, we're gonna eat this. Who brought it?
I did. So I was at the Sunday, I live right down the street from Lake Eola. So me and Tom, when he first got here, we went walking around the Lake Eola's farmer market.
That's sweet.
And we came across this place that had a bunch of weird. We got cake together.
Yeah, you just got into town. Here's a cake pop. Let's walk around the lake.
It's fun. So anyway, there's this place that sold all sorts of exotic jerky, and Tom was really adamant about me getting snapper turtle jerky.
Yeah.
And I just felt bad about it, you know?
Yeah,
You own turtles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like eating a...
No, I feel like you're allowed to eat it then
wolf,
because you're
'cause I have a dog.
saving a couple turtles. I'm with Tom.
How are you saving it? What do you mean?
No, you're saving. You've already rescued a couple turtles, right?
So
You've
it
also
gives you the
killed
right
a few
to-
that got washed away during the rain.
that wasn't my fault.
So-
they escaped. That's on them.
Well, like Native Americans, right? They would kill the animal and they would feel closer to the animal.
Yeah.
So I think you having a snapping
that's just an
turtle
excuse
makes
to
you
kill them.
closer, and you would really benefit from the
eating
power of
one,
the
yeah.
snapping turtle more so than someone like me who wouldn't really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I got the python instead.
So this is python
Because
jerky.
the only reason I got the python because they're invasive now in
Oh,
Florida.
it stinks.
so-
It stinks.
It's not bad.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's because
Smells like I took my
Just
pants
eat
off.
it,
I can do it. I don't think I can do it. though.
because pythons eat mice, bro. You eat rats and mice. That's
it does.
not bad.
Yeah, it's like I
Yeah,
got a
it's
real,
very
I got a bad
gamey.
Don't be a
gag
baby.
reflex.
It's going to even out your blood levels.
That's why I'm not good at blowjobs. I'm better at putting pins in my anus.
All right.
Don't laugh at that.
Very
Peppery.
very gamey.
Is it gaming?
It's
Yeah, I
chewy.
can't do it. Here, you got to.
Got like
I told him I could do it. I'm
a
okay with
snaky taste to it.
It's expensive too, man. $15 for this little
it.
thing.
Oh my
Just
god!
get the regular one. Fucking Jack Link.
And then he's like, but he said 2 for $25. I was like, that makes it better. And I got another one. I got cat.
You'd be like,
I'm joking. I think the other one I got was emu, I think, or something like that.
all over the table.
I thought you were having a seizure at first.
Shit is disgusting.
Yeah, I get
Is it really?
You know what's better than this? Everything. Like every other jerky I've ever had is better than this. And like, I could just go get it. It's so delicious.
It was just
You wasted your goddamn
money
money.
well spent that day. I'm glad.
Who made this? Some old man?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking
Why?
The name of it's Cracker King. And he's
Okay,
a fucking. He's
let me-
let me tell you, I got dolphin here. I got snapping turtle.
Like
pork?
Mako shark.
Mako shark.
Okay, hold on.
Which I'm
The guy
pretty sure
wasn't. The guy wasn't that old. He was just from the country.
Okay, I gotta.
It's called cracker candy.
Okay.
I don't want to plug him
I gotta-
because he's killing animals. So don't go get this stuff, guys.
Okay, I got a question.
pay me for that.
Not to sound like Tom here, but why do we, as a society, why have we stopped going to stores and restaurants to buy yummy stuff? Why do we go to a fucking hot ass flea market and walk around and buy
Support
shit
local.
from old poor shitbag farmers who give this goddamn like handmade beard balm? It breaks my skin out. Fucking python jerky tastes like shit. Why are we buying this fucking shit?
You can't-
There are stores and restaurants that do this professionally. It's good shit. Why do we go and like stand over our 10x10 tent and have some dumb old man say he's on fucking dolphin jerky? Fuck that old man. Fuck his family. Fuck that farmer's market.
God.
Fuck food trucks.
Actually, it's funny.
Fuck the fucking food trucks. I'm over it.
Christ, it's funny you say it.
Bullshit.
Because his son was the one that sold it to us. His son was out. He's like, yeah. He's like 8 years old. That there is the fragging rabbit jerky.
No preservatives. No
preservatives.
Nothing.
That's what he listed.
Nothing
He's like,
unnatural.
He's like,
Yeah,
nothing
you know
unnatural,
why?
Nothing.
There's
I'm like,
no
oh, this is-
preservatives on it because you don't need to preserve stuff that doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
The only
You can't
unnatural.
speak on the taste. You didn't try
Honestly,
it.
because I had
smelled
money.
it. I
Baby.
smelled it.
I had money burning a hole in my pocket, and I was like, I just want to spend money in for no reason.
Jesus
And I bought a big ass $100 carving board right next to him too,
Put a giant carving board. Why'd you buy
Carbo snake jerky.
because I like carving stuff.
So
Oh, I forgot to tell the chat room. Yeah, that's Anti-Flag. They have a new album coming out, and yes, that's a very anti-Trump song. But just if you'd like Trump, just don't listen to this song.
So first, Tom, how you doing, dude?
Oh, good. Oh, before I forget, I want to up the ante.
Oh, for the Goro
Seth's
challenge.
bet. Yeah,
Goro
yeah.
challenge.
So I think it'll probably
Is it
take...
Bozo or Goro? There's two different things.
Well,
Bozo is embarrassing. I might be able to do a Goro braids. With
Okay,
razors.
if you do Bozo challenge, I got 2 G's.
Oh my God. Your wife's gonna kill you.
I don't have anything for the Bozo.
That's going to be company money. Tom's so far in
Bozo
debt
is just
with-
basically Goro, just the whole sides too. And
He has gambled so much money from this company away that I basically have as much unlimited money to do whatever I want to with my half.
damn, if I knew this, my money's going up every Friday.
I need it for gambling.
No, so we're going to need what color's your hair naturally? Black?
It's like
Oh, black
dirty
Bozo is going to be
brown,
so good.
Old black bozo. But now, how do
There's
you know?
no gray in it, though. I know that because when it does grow,
That was Homie D Clown.
Oh, that's gonna be so
Don't
good.
Homie to Seth.
What? Now you say when it grows out, you don't notice any gray,
No,
but
I have a few little bit here.
When's the last time you grew it out, though?
7 years ago. No. When I let it go, like
Okay, if you
I let it
grow
go
the
4 or
bozo,
5 days where I see all my hair follicles and I see what color.
if you grow the bozo and then dye it like a lot of girls do, it's very popular to have like that gray, purpley gray. Kind of sexy.
Silver, yeah.
And you do a silver bozo. Oh, man.
no,
Silverback. You're the silverback. You gotta
Yeah,
do it silver.
bozo.
yeah, you do.
I look like Hayachi from Tekken.
Yeah, he will look like
I do like
Tekken.
hash from there. That's cool.
Tekken was a fucking awesome.
When I
game.
can get it to look like him, that's cool. I don't know if I could do
If
that.
you grow your beard out a little bit and you will dye your bozo blonde,
You're
it's-
negative Hogan.
It's the NWA, right? Blonde Hogan.
NWO, New World Order.
Well, I gotta say, what'd you up the ante to?
Oh, well, if you do Goro, I think it'll take you probably a good year, maybe 2 to get the Goro. Like that's how long it would take.
Probably gonna take 2 years.
It'll take a long
I'll
time.
come back. I'll move back here for a month. And I will wear a Shang Tsung outfit and just follow you around the whole time.
That's pretty dope.
For a whole month?
That's
A
pretty
whole
dope.
month, one whole month. I'll take the time out of my own life, out of raising my kids, out of working, whatever.
could create
I
a
will
really
wear
good
a
buzz.
Shang Tsung outfit and just walk around with you.
I
You
was just
go.
Tom, I was just going to ask you what you've been up to, but based on that, not very much.
He's in the same. He's literally in the same boat as me. It's great.
I also
Literally
like
in
how
one-
he's like, I'll basically abandon my family for this Goro bit.
In 5 minutes, you've already agreed to take 1 month off your entire life to waste time.
For a prank. For a prank. Yeah, for a
So,
fucking prank.
Sam, can you see how long hair grows in 1 year, just average? Is there a way you can
Well,
see
no.
something?
Well,
Just-
you're
just-
healthy.
just
I
over-
bet yours goes fast.
Plus, I take a lot of supplements that help grow skin, hair, and nails, which hasn't helped
Do
yet.
you use mane and tail? The horse hair. I use the horse mane and tail shampoo on my pubes, and it makes them.
Why do you want that?
It would be 6 inches of hair per year on average.
Wow. Yeah, so a foot is 2
that's gonna-
years.
We're looking at 4 years.
Yeah,
Fuck,
it's gonna be a
that's-
4-year
that's a
dedication.
lot of
You're not gonna have a wife in 4 years. You're fine.
yeah.
You got a
we did the
long
math.
time.
The point is to get one now, so that way she stays with me through this shit. not
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's gonna exit probably because you collect turtles, but
You gotta wait
Girls
until
like turtles. Girls, that's
girls like
I'll bring them
turtles.
back to my house. I'm just like, this is my turtles. And they're like, oh,
I'm
that's
so
cute.
fucking wet. I'm fingering my pussy right now, thinking about your turtle.
April
Put a
O'Neil
pin in my
loved
ass.
them.
Who did?
April O'Neil.
That's true.
pretty
She
hot.
never fucked
She
the
was,
turtles, though, did she?
I've seen it on.
She's
Hold on a second.
seen that.
This motherfucker gets mad at me for being all up into massage for the last 9 years, and he's watching Ninja Turtle
Well, I'm
with
saying,
fucking
you see-
April O'Neil.
You see that and Family
April
Guy.
O'Neil
It's all the same.
yeah. April is a cock tease, a turtle tease.
She was in
I
that
don't
yellow
think so.
jumpsuit. Did she ever
Yeah,
wash
she
that?
flirted
Did
with
she
Raph a lot. She rubbed his head and like.
Did she?
They all had 8-packs, so I'm not surprised.
Did she have?
It's at the front of
They
the
had
shelf.
nothing going on.
Their actual
whatever.
stomach is a blobby. It looks like a frog
Shell.
blob.
I'd have an 8-pack too if I had a turtle shell top. I'd be fucking ripped.
I thought they were just doing
And
a
then
lot of
my
back
fat-
exercises.
And then my fat beer belly just spill out in my turtle shell.
Yeah. So anyway, Tom, how you been doing, dude?
Pretty good, I guess. I don't know. It depends on the year.
I didn't know you
had
had
a couple
kids.
rough years, and
Congrats.
Oh,
I didn't
thank
know
you, thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
keep going. No,
Really?
No, two.
Congrats.
I know,
Yeah, Tom's got 2. I got 1.
When you said you had a couple rough years, were you joking?
I've got a
or-
bank account.
Well, I got suspended from the UFC for a drug charge or something that now guys get let off with absolutely no punishment. So that pretty much sucked.
Tom was in the bathroom with
I was
me.
kind of depressed for 2 years.
He was in my freshman high school dorm. Like,
I would be depressed too because that's bullshit.
I remember Seth was on our show and he told us about that incident, and apparently it was just what was it?
So like, there's this stuff called Osterine, which is apparently like one of the most contaminated substances that they'll put into supplements.
Okay.
And I don't know.
What is it supposed to do? Is this like one of these like?
It's a SARM, which
Okay.
is a selective androgen receptor module or something like that.
You're gonna have to really.
It's
dumb
like
this down for Tom.
it's like a low level like steroid. Remember like
Okay,
back in like high school,
now I'm back in.
GNC would like sell stuff and they take it off the market.
Yeah,
you know, it's probably like something
Like
along
like
those
Winstraw or what?
Yeah.
What was that?
I think Winstraw was
Yeah. Is that even a thing? I remember,
it is,
but
but I
I,
don't think it was
a thing,
sold
but
but I
that's like
remember
a
people
needle.
would like talk about it, it'd be out, and then they take it back, and then
Then there's like there was the stuff with amphetamines in it,
Yep.
and like
Ephedra.
oh yeah.
Oh, you mean like hydroxycuts?
Yeah.
Like
They
now with a
take
new
those out.
formula that does nothing because the other formula
It
ruled.
probably had more amphetamines than my goddamn Adderall had. You know what I'm saying? Like it was pegging the limits. So when you get popped by that, do you get any chance to explain yourself? Like, hey, I was taking this supplement, because I'm sure it happens to athletes all the time, right? You have no idea. You're not a chemist. You're not testing every supplement you take.
Yeah, well, over time now, like I said, the punishments and that sort of thing have actually like changed. So when I got hit for it, I was told I had 17 picograms of ostrine in my sample, which is like I can't even express how small of an amount that is. And they said, well, look at something you've ingested within the past week. And I'm like, the past week? Well, I don't take supplements. Like, I eat fast food.
I had the Popeyes sandwich.
Like the only supplement I had was like I went to like tropical smoothie, like because I
mean
eat
a protein blast.
Yeah, I eat shitty food all the time. I'm not, I go eat fast food nonstop. Like I'm not paying attention to that stuff.
It's amazing. You're in good shape for a guy that eats fast food all the time.
I got it down to a science, and so I went to the lab, the UCLA lab, and watched them test my piss for like 8 hours. I sent in
It takes that long for them to test piss? I feel like that's not efficient at
also,
all.
I feel like you didn't have to watch them. Because
Well, he wanted to make sure.
But I do like the idea
Is
of
that
them
my
watching
piss?
them and like, test my piss, you fucking
Well, I
idiot.
had to
It's your own fault. You should have signed up for his fucking blood testing company. And once a month.
I don't know what
Yeah.
I don't know what it looks like, but this is what I'm picturing is like three nerds in white coats with like glasses,
Scientists.
and they have your piss, they're testing it, and you're behind the glass with your hands on the glass, and you're looking at them, and you're like, test my piss! I'm gonna fucking kill you when you're done. You fucking nerds. That's what I want.
Well, it's a little different of a process.
And then you're banging on the glass. They're like, their chest tubes are shaking. And
Piss is fucking spilling everywhere.
they're just like,
the chemicals they mix it with.
fucking kill us. That's what I want.
There was only one nerd. Well, like usually, so I guess there's been like in the history of man or something. There's been one time that like the B sample came back different, and it was because somebody like cheated the test. So like I went to the UCLA lab knowing what the result was going to be, but I still had to go to do the taste test to make sure before they ran it through the machine.
Taste your own pee-pee?
I just had to go and identify
tastes like
it.
Popeyes.
I just had to go and like identify the markers, like the numbers that they had put on there. So it comes back, okay, it's the same exact result. I had sent in like a supplement to USADA for them to test, thinking, okay, this is my best shot. The guy, Jeff Nowitzki, the guy that like nailed Lance Armstrong, he works for the UFC. He's like, we're going to get these guys. This is going to be it. It's that Yohimbine from China. And then lo and behold, there's nothing in that
This
stuff.
is why I started reading about you a lot, because like I love cycling. Like my wife and I like really enjoy that, and I had no idea that guy had, after the whole Lance and Tour de France and all that. I mean, because it's it was so abused in cycling. I had no idea it was such a thing in everything, and almost every sport you could see. But yeah, he transitioned over to do that, and then I guess you became like some sort of like badge of honor, like they're going to go after you. Or,
like basically, like I'm
like you're the sacrificial dude.
I'm like a martyr at this point. Like
burn him at the stake.
Yeah, for years now. If you look at like there's a guy Sean O'Malley who the UFC is, they like him. It's pretty popular. Like the Nevada Attorney General went to bat for him. Right? Like, come on.
Yeah.
What's the deal with this? I had a lower sample of the shit in my piss than he did.
But you didn't get that.
No, I got nothing. I got held out for 2 years, and then right when I'm about to be ready to come back, they cut me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned.
Total scumbag move.
Yeah.
So
it's not cool.
So I spent like 2 years depressed.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Now, I know we've never talked about the time I boxed Tom Lawlor. Have we with Tom here? Like we've never
not with him here. No.
It's an.
And when
I
was
won't be
that?
too
Because
far.
we were trying to figure out the time.
It was right around the time Seth beat Kimbo Slice because
you asked me to do it, right?
Yeah. You were supposed.
I said I'm not spending anything. Now you want to do it now?
I don't.
How much money you pay me? I'll do it now.
By the way, this is all.
Wait, do you have a bozo in this fight? Or no? Yeah.
I'll wear a Bozo wig since it's short notice.
By the way, all this is a contributing.
Can I draw a Bozo on you?
This is all going to be a contributing factor to why my sons will have to wipe my ass one day. By the way, because
I'll be right there with you.
You know what they'll be saying to me? They're like, he ate too much cheese again. He's got the hard doo-doos. I'm like, well, if he does, and then I'll remind them. I'll just remember as you're wiping your father's ass, nothing is that good. They're like, that doesn't make sense, Uncle Daniel.
That's what he wanted you to know.
They're like, when's the last time you saw Maisie and Andrea? I'm like, who? It's a whole fucked up scenario.
I'm a wanderer now.
It's Monster Ween, according to old Buck Tucker.
Yeah. So,
I've heard about that event. I heard a lot of people go to them.
It was we were in a parking lot of some fucking what's that? It was like what's that place up in Sanford? The fucking Route 46.
Something.
Yeah.
Wait, was that Route 46?
Yeah, there was a smattering of people in the parking lot.
Route 46 was so nice. And they spent so much money, and I think collectively, from the minute they stopped construction to the minute it closed down, only 18 people ever went there.
Yeah.
Total.
They spent millions.
And it's nice as fuck.
On First Street on West 46th Street. Is that where the Lake Mary gym is? On that's
Route
pretty
46,
close.
yeah.
Yeah, it is Route 46, Street 46.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right down the street from
He's saying,
jungle. It's right down the street from the jungle.
It's a beautiful
it looks like
place
Disney. It looks like Disney.
And they can never. It's got a curse or some shit. They never figure out how to make it work.
We went there and toured it to possibly do like some events there, and then they had but there are places in Sanford that thrive. But this place, like it had roll up doors. It's like our sound system is state of the art. No one will have anything better than this. Like I toured the whole thing, and no one will go there.
You know what the owner's saying? Nothing in life is that good.
Probably.
He's like, fuck.
The owner apparently is rich beyond belief, and
he had a collection of old cars. Remember the cars?
Yeah. So anyway, Seth was supposed to box me at this thing,
and didn't Ross Franco box Tiffany?
Yes, yeah. This is what year was that?
2008.
2008. Okay, so 12
damn.
years ago. So then Seth asked Tom, like, can you do this? Tom had no idea what the hell he was getting into. And I knew that by the fact that when he got there, first I'm drinking. It was back when I smoked, too. I'm drinking and smoking.
And I had met Tom a couple of times, but, like, when Tom got into the ring to, like, fight you... Switch.
Switch
like,
flipped.
Went on, and dude, you're fucking. But when you go full on, I'm gonna fucking beat you up. It's scary face. It's a scary
shit face.
He was also shit face.
But it was very scary. I'm
Were you
like
wearing a diaper?
No, tidy whitey.
Tidy whitey.
So
with your blood all over him, right?
Well, that during Tom before the fight, he's like, "Hey, what do you want?" I'm like, "Let's just have fun out there." I didn't want to tell him like, "Go at me."
Fun out there.
That's our code word for beat each other up. Hey, Tom, you want to train RJ? Let's just have fun.
Well, because listen, Tom is a professional fighter. He's fighting some fucking fat drunk kid. So he was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna really hurt you. Like, I know this is just for some radio bit or whatever." Seth asked me. I think you were a little pissed off that Seth even cut you into the shit. But so I remember when we started fighting, my theory was I was trying to kind of trick you into like taking it easy on me because I knew if I lasted all 3 rounds that the crowd, it's not. This is just some dumb shit radio stunts that the crowd would vote for me at the end if he didn't knock me out or whatever.
Right.
So we started boxing, immediately gassed. And by the way,
it's a lot. Yeah.
So Tom,
cardio there,
so Tom is just dancing around jabbing me, but every time he's jabbing me with not even probably 30% of his strength, it is exploding my face. My nose is being destroyed. My eyes, I was bleeding from my eyes and nose. But
wife was there.
Oh yeah.
So did you just get married? Because I remember she was like don't hurt them. And I think that's what I'm here to do.
That's what I was hired.
Here's a fun fact: she can't come unless she thinks about you beating him up. I don't know if
me neither.
And while I'm inside her,
come on. So
far Python jerky. Wow.
The snake in your pants.
So
she knows she wants
at some point there was I've told that story before. There was a point where like you were wearing tighty whities, I was in the bear suit, and like around number 2, like I'm gassed. I'm like, and I
was
looked,
I there?
Yeah, you were there. You were embarrassed by all this shit. You were like, you were like, what the fuck are you doing again?
Right.
yeah. So you were just drinking, waiting to play your fucking bass.
Look, I just want to play this fucking goof rock band. Eventually, I'm going to quit this fucking shit show anyway.
Yeah. So I remember looking down and seeing your tighty whities, and there's blood all over it.
All over it.
And then I was like, why would he wear bloody tighty whities to fight me? And then I realized it's my own blood coming out of my face. So the problem was, then the third round, this is where I'm going to eventually get dementia. You were like, well, I'm going to, like, I think I punched you as hard as I possibly.
Mad you got blood in his underwear. I would be. I'd like, look, I'm little, but I'll try to fight you really hard if you bleed on my underpants.
I don't know if you have any diseases on that blood. I'm like, fucking bleeding on me.
I think you did that move.
Hypochondriac rage.
Where you put your boxing gloves behind your back.
That's correct.
And you leaned in and you did the move like, come on, hit me. And I reached back and I punched you with, I'm not joking, all of my might.
I remember this.
And it did not even I don't think you blinked.
He had the same smile. Look at the smile. Look at the smile.
When you sneeze, you have to blink. I didn't think my hardest punch didn't even make you blink, but it did.
He liked it, though.
It did do one thing. It made you mad enough to then
beat him up.
Then try to, like, it was only 30-second round, so I think you only had 15 seconds, and this is where every punch I saw light like explode into my eyes.
Kang.
That's concussion after concussion.
Yeah, that's where that's the problem.
Yeah.
And then
I threw a couple of little body blows in there,
and then I'm just trying to cover up. And
this
then
is not good.
By the way, I had no mouthpiece. The boxing organization was shoddy at best that was running this because they brought me no mouthpiece or nothing. And I remember my jaw, I couldn't open.
There was a boxing association out there.
The commission.
The radio
Florida
station.
State Athletic Commission.
Really? I don't think anyone. I thought it was just we did it.
And then but I didn't end up falling down. Then they like, who thinks a drunkie should win? Everybody cheers, of course, louder than the fucking idiot in the bear suit. And I think Tom really legitimately pissed because like, I wasted my fucking time.
Yeah,
for
he
this.
was bad.
Then he took off.
I mean, you lose a fight and you have bloody underwear. It's not a good. That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, so that was my experience with Tom Lawlor. And it was.
Is that the dumbest thing you've ever done?
That's a bit close.
That's a stupid question. We were actually just going over this the other night. We're sitting in my little chill room.
Sitting in your turtle pond?
Your sex swing?
No, I have a little side little room where we all
Did you know he had a sex swing?
Yeah. We're in it.
That's
where I sleep every night.
Tom,
that's where
you guys asked what the stupidest thing you did was. He sat in my sex swing and we.
Yeah, you fucked him in the anus. In the anus.
Tom, you don't strike me as being a hypochondriac in any way, right?
No.
Yeah. So when you've known Seth for a long time, you've been his friend. You've seen, we talked about it earlier on the show.
Oh, Seth and I are right here as far as like we got all the diseases.
Do you and the other guys bully him for this?
Yeah,
I want you to.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, good.
Sure, they definitely bully me.
Yeah.
But they're not about the hypochondria. They don't really know that deep of the side. That side of me.
What do you bully him the most about? What's the weakest point on Seth?
It's just the douchebag. The overall douchiness that he plays.
What about every relationship he's ever had falling apart?
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Like I was thinking about. You guys remember that movie?
Yeah, like you have,
Cradle
you
to
have
the
a
Grave,
family, right?
Yeah.
What's that feel like to you? Is it nice having a family?
It's the best.
It's the best,
most
right?
amazing thing. I wish everybody could experience.
I know,
that,
right?
you know?
That's what I say.
When I hug my sons, they love me.
Like, when I kiss my daughter, and then she goes like, and this is my favorite when she goes, "I have a good day at work, Daddy," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I love you."
Now the wife, not that good.
Nothing's
That's the bad part.
Stinky ass pussy.
Yeah, the same old shit every time.
I'll
The
say
yelling,
I'll
the
say
bitching.
I say the things that people are already thinking. Andrew got a stank ass pussy.
Oh man,
it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. But she doesn't care. That's why I say it. She doesn't listen to this.
Smells like that python jerky.
Half the time she's in the chat.
I tell my listeners, my
pussy stink.
no one cares. Nothing matters. She don't care. No one cares. Anyway.
I'm the president.
So let's talk more about bullying Seth.
Yeah, you guys remember that movie Cradle to the Grave?
Yes.
Seth is doing the opposite. He's doing grave to the cradle because his ex-wife looked like the crypt keeper.
We're off the rails officially now.
I don't get sued.
All right, so no, we have a chat room that we all talk in the WhatsApp chat room, and literally probably like every few days, talking about anything old, they'll send a picture of her next to the crypt keeper.
Oh, now I want to see what she looks like.
Well, that's not really bullying Seth.
It's really being.
Well, he married her.
She was able to escape.
This will probably get back to her too, by the way.
Well, me and her, we're not friends anyway. So
well, this is Tom Lawlor.
She ran over my mail. She committed a federal offense. She ran over my mailbox, and my own ex-girlfriend covered it up for her.
Oh,
so screw that.
On purpose? Like
he got my next ex-fiance back though because he broke her collarbone.
What?
Grappling. She used to grapple
Wait
and
a
he broke her collarbone.
Oh my god!
I beat up women. Like shit. Snake jerky?
I'd be main eventing in the UFC if that was the case.
Who's that about?
Well done. He's right.
Basically everybody.
Yeah, basically everybody. You can't argue that one.
So,
oh my god, I'm crying.
Let's talk about the UFC because Seth, he's admittedly doesn't know that much about it. Like, he has no idea. We ask him about MMA stuff. He's like,
I stopped texting him about it now. Like
he has no
with
idea.
the cards coming on, Andrea wants to watch it. I want to watch it. Like I usually,
unless it's somebody I know, then ask me. I don't know.
No, but you're like, I don't fucking know. I'm not
so
texting
Tom
you.
does though. Now, how many times do they have a set amount of times per year? Because it seems like every month they do a UFC fight special. Like, goddamn, how many different fights are there?
Oh, there's almost one every week at this point.
One every week?
It didn't used to be that way.
Yeah, it's kind of like comedy specials. If you do too many of them, they stop becoming special, right?
It depends. I mean, like right now, content is king for a lot of the subscription services. ESPN, which just did the deal with the UFC, ESPN Plus, just skyrocketed like over.
I love
1 million over what they had before they had the UFC, so that's paying off.
Because they did a smart thing. They're like, subscribe for, and it was a low amount. I think
$5, $6.
I think I got in early, like on some deal. Ours is like $2.99. So I'm like, I'm getting a deal, but I got all the MLS, all Champions League. It's a lot of soccer and UFC. That's what I like. So I was like, fuck, this is a good deal. I don't know how they worked that out, but then you're right. It's like when that happened, then you started seeing them increase in more and more fights.
And with obviously doing so many different fights, I mean, there's obviously the amount of sponsorship and, even like tickets to the actual fight. Like, there's tons of ways
I see
to
more
make money off
people.
it.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
ESPN Plus or ESPN, I believe they pay UFC $10 million per event.
Okay,
like on top of whatever else.
Really?
So.
It's the most popular thing, at least in the people I follow on Facebook. UFC is the number one sport that people, girls, guys,
watch.
Well, I mean, just across the board, like football, NFL is going to be all guys. Soccer, typically all guys, but UFC, for whatever reason, gets like all of my friends. It's like it's extremely popular.
It is.
Girls love fighting dudes.
In UFC and the culture and the fighting culture, have you seen something similar to like the NFL and them trying to make it safer for the athletes, like maybe trying to convince them to do less striking and more submission, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or no, like it's just
the only thing. If you want to go, Tom, the only thing I see changing is not the UFC doing any shit about it, but it's the actual trainers and the gyms toning down. They're not sparring every single day. Like when me and Tom started going up, we were fucking blasting each other probably 4 days a week. We were sparring super hard. Now it's like maybe once or twice they're sparring hard, and they're still controlling it a little bit better now. So it's the trainers and the gyms that are changing.
And over
things.
time, it's proven that can fuck you up pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, the training is
proofs in the pudding.
I don't know. Your being punched in the head didn't cause you crippling anxiety.
I'm sure it didn't help.
Unfortunately, I haven't been punched in the head, and I'm less hypochondriac than you are.
That is one good thing that I've been thinking about lately that makes me feel better about the situation. Like maybe my migraines or the dizziness. I'm like, look, you know
you're
what?
Born like that,
people
man.
have people. No, not born like that. I'm saying people go through life not doing anything at all with their life and still have these problems, dizziness, migraines, health problems. At least I got to experience life and like do something
Well, at least
amazing
you're healthy.
that not a lot of people did, and then maybe I got certain
Well, at least you're
elements from
healthy.
it.
Imagine being like,
I'm saying this like I'm not healthy.
but
That's what I'm trying to
imagine
say.
being cripplingly obese or like something and still feeling the way that you feel. It would be even worse, you know?
True.
Because then when you tell people you're dying, they're like, yes, you are. And when Seth says it, it's like, yeah, you're fine.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. I mean, I see your abs, you're fine.
So this leads me to the next question because
Goro challenge?
No,
Bozo challenge?
Seth's fight. When is that?
Grappling match, December 21st.
Yeah, and it's at OLE.
Can you stop calling it a fight? It's a hug match.
Yeah, okay, so it's Seth's
So
grappling.
What is it? What
It's a quarrel.
It's
A quarrel.
A quarrel between two like-minded
Gentlemen.
individuals.
By the way,
a race war. He's black.
Are you?
Joking.
Are you not? You're not allowed to strike in that, right?
No, but yeah, I could like crossface. Kind
Whoa!
crossface kind of hard and stuff
God
like that.
almighty.
I almost ate the mic. No, I could like crossface hard and like I could sneak.
All right.
But no, you're not allowed to strike.
By the way, Tom, if you and Seth actually fought, would it be? I mean, is he way more? I mean, do you know? Like, what do you think?
I think he'd knock me out.
Oh, okay. Is
No, I think he'd take me down and maybe hold me for a while.
Oh, okay. No, so you're actually giving Tom,
You know what I'd
like,
pay to
advantage?
see you guys do?
I'm not fighting.
Even over
I'm not sucking his dick either.
Yeah, I would pay to see them fight like those pornos.
Like Ultimate Surrender.
Yeah, this is why I love me some fucking Tom Lawlor, because he knows the shit that I can't like activate quick enough. Yeah, I want to see you guys fight, and then at the end, you gotta fuck.
You never
each
watched
other.
those, Seth?
Is this stuff that Josh did?
No.
Who, Josh?
Hold on.
Customs.
He did cuss.
Wait,
Because he wrestles guys in underwear. and,
That's
like,
really
clothing.
not. Yeah, that's a.
Wait a minute, you got a buddy who wrestles guys in his underwear for extra money?
He got paid. Yeah, he doesn't anymore, but he did.
Oh, is that like that tickling documentary I watched on HBO? Like it's called Tickled. And
I don't think there was tickling. There's a lot
Seth's
of.
eyes lit up like he's in the documentary.
Because he asked me if I wanted to do it. I said, "How much money are you getting?"
Did you do it?
No, I didn't do it.
So you wrestle other dudes?
It's essentially like somebody pays. They pay the money, and then you wrestle another dude. There's no crowd. And,
yeah, it's at his house. It's for
no. It's like a private.
It's like a private thing. There's nobody there, and then it's not like it's not
gay.
Homo. It's not gay.
Yeah.
It's not homoerotic until the guy gets the video and watches it. You know
Then
what I
Jack's
mean?
Yeah. So it's like an actual like.
Yeah. But he says, "I want you to put him in a lot of holds and squeeze."
That's the same thing with
what
the
I got.
tickling thing. Like the guys would pay other two fit dudes to tickle each other, and then they'd pay for the video because they had some sort of weird fetish.
You've begged
By the
me
way,
to watch this,
the
and
way
my
Tom-
wife outvotes it every time I want to watch it.
By the way Tom talks about it, have you done this, Tom?
No.
Okay.
No. I haven't been
there's
approached.
nothing against it.
I would do it. I think I would do it for extra money.
Thought about it.
Oh,
I'll do it.
for how much? For
Again,
me and you
it's
to
only
tickle
it's only gay if you're gay. Like I'm not gay, so I will tickle you nude. It doesn't even matter to me. Like how much money am I making? If you told me you're getting 10 G's, all you gotta do is lay nude on top of Tom and tickle his balls. I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Like whatever.
Do I have any say in this?
You're on the board.
Like only if Tom Lawlor has a say.
You're only if Tom Lawlor's sticking the pin in my anus like while I'm doing it.
I thought my balls were getting tickled. What's going on here?
I would do that. Like it's again, the fool is the person that's so caught up in it being gay that they're not willing to look at the money.
Exactly.
That's the fool.
How about this? How about he grows his hair out, the Goro.
I'm liking where we're going.
I dress like Shang Tsung and we fight, and you two are in the background.
Tickling each other's balls. I'm in.
I
do this for no reason.
As long as Sam is filming topless, we're good.
No, my God. Why you gotta make it weird?
Sam don't even want to be a part of the show.
I'm looking you up on Wiki.
That's over the top just because there's a girl involved.
We've never had somebody regret leaving Walgreens more every day. You ever seen a person beg to be behind a boring desk?
I'm tickling Daniel's pappus and Tom Lawler's hair. He's like, I fart shit.
Anyway,
You should do your game, Dan.
No, we're gonna shit can the game. We're doing it. We're gonna do it next week.
Yeah.
Because Tom says, "Do you want to wait so I can actually write one?"
But I forgot to write mine.
You
Anyway.
motherfucker.
So,
For those of you that wanted, Daniel got high and thought of a game. Well, we had one, but we'll do it next week.
So your grappling match, it's a is it a like
it's in a cage.
It's a sanctioned thing.
Sanctioned thing. Yeah, we have like it's Good event, busy event. Yeah, people
And
show
You
up.
sound like Trump now. It's a great event, the best event, the biggest event.
Number one event,
the best grappling.
now, in the MMA world, Tom, and I'll ask you about this with sponsorship. How much money can a fighter make just off sponsors alone? Like during a fight, if you're on the highest, you're not allowed.
I want you guys to think it's a lot of money. No, it is. I already got 2 sponsors already paid up. So
Who you got?
I got a hand wrap company, The Other Side Apparel.
Okay.
And I have I don't know, he's meeting me Sunday to give me, like, exchange everything and stuff like that. But it's a.
Is it the parking lot of a Walmart?
There's
What kind of sponsorship deal is this?
It's called Space Coast Botanicals. It's a CBD and weed distributing.
Okay.
So I'm weed. I got a weed sponsor.
I think it's a CBD distributor.
It's a CBD.
You got a weed and a glove sponsor.
and a hand wrap.
Weed gloves. Keep your fingers less dank.
So, but in the normal UFC world, like, let's say, what was the last UFC fight? It was not that long ago. Like,
it was Nick Diaz and Jorge Masvidal last weekend.
So,
last weekend.
That was the bad motherfucker thing, right?
The BMF.
BMF.
Yeah.
So,
see, I know that.
Who won, by the way?
Jorge Masvidal by cut.
Yeah.
No, they
TKO
called. Yeah, that was when he bleeding out everywhere.
Yeah. Really, but.
So with that, like, how much would he get paid by sponsors? Because they bring up what's the rules, by the way? Like, in UFC, you're not allowed to have sponsors on your shorts or anything like that, right?
It's Reebok.
Yeah. So they have a deal with Reebok. They have a deal with P3, the portable protein snack official sponsor of the UFC. They have Devour Foods, which I actually think was on Felicia's shorts. Monster Energy.
Oh, I had some of that food actually.
Yeah.
Back there.
Oh, did she get any of that sponsorship money? Didn't think so. So you are set.
That's how it works.
You are locked in, and essentially Reebok pays you, and the UFC has multiple spots on the shorts where they can choose to put whatever they want on there, and you may or may not get some of that money. You cannot get your own outside sponsors any longer. Back when we were in our heyday, a few years ago, we could have our own sponsors, and I would make multiple thousands of dollars, like $10,000, maybe more than that, $15,000 a fight just on sponsorships from multiple companies. And then the UFC decided, wait a minute, we're not getting any money off this. We're going to institute a sponsor tax, and it was set at like $50,000 or $100,000 just to get in the door. So no longer could the small
$100,000 sponsor tax.
Well, yeah, they can. So people that wanted to get into it had to pay that in order to
pay the UFC.
Pay the UFC.
That's
part of that
to
happening.
me. That's an insane amount of money, though, because like there's enough room for everybody here to benefit. I mean, I understand their idea of wanting to take some money back for the company. It's like a casino. You want to put some money back in the house, but
so then take 5% of what we get.
Yeah, but why take it all and ruin the fighter's ability to make a living for their family? That's fucking stupid.
Well, it's what every corporation does. Is what radio did. Is like, you're not allowed to bring your own sponsors. Like, it's got to go through the radio station. We'll give you 5%.
We're independent contractors.
We'll take 95%. We'll take 5%. So they're not going to
I
let
didn't know that, man. That's insane.
I always liked it when
they killed your entire heyday, like your payday, rather. Not
yeah,
heyday.
well, I mean, I if I think back, I think I was getting $10,000 from Reebok for the last fight I had. Maybe it was $15,000. So it would equal
that
out.
Equals out, but some lower fighter.
Yeah, but if you're coming right in, say you're coming in the UFC and you were the Bellator champion or something, and you come in your first fight in the UFC, you're going to get like $1,000 in sponsorship now all of a sudden because you haven't been there. The system. I understand it.
I'm not a fighter, but $1,000 for the amount of work and abuse that you guys put yourself through. That's
maybe it was
really
5 or something like
still.
that.
That's
still shitty. It's still not as much as you would if you got it on your own.
Yeah.
If you got,
well,
got
I mean, also considering the fact that at some point, just for doing radio, which I don't even do anymore, well, we do, but we own it. I was making what, $300 an appearance?
Yeah.
So it doesn't take that many of those to equal what a UFC fighter coming in. Like, that's bullshit. That's not even.
I did enjoy back in the day when they were sponsors were allowed. When the fighter won the fight, their ringside guy would run, a cornerman would run and put a T-shirt over him and a hat on top of his head. It'd be like a tap out shirt, and the guy's like sweating and bloody. And he's like puts his shirt on, and then he's wearing this like ill-fitting T-shirt and hat, and then they'd hold up a banner behind them
Because
because
have the energy drink too.
this guy just spent 3 rounds fighting, and he's holding a Red Bull and stuff because it was all part of the sponsor thing.
Yeah.
So I like that. But now there's none of that.
Well, that it happens in other organizations. You know, one of the things is we're in the U.S., right? So it's very UFC centric when you think about mixed martial arts. But there's these countries all over the world that have shows that'll put 10, 15, 20,000 people into an arena to watch MMA. One of Seth's last fights in the UFC was this guy, Carlos Vamola. He's fighting this weekend in the Czech Republic against a former Bellator champion, and they're probably going to put 20, 30,000 people in the stadium to watch that fight. So you have Bellator, where people are getting sponsors. You have ONE FC, which is on TNT, I believe, in a late night time slot where people can get sponsors. So there's all these other companies out there that are available for fighters, and you could still kind of tap into that sponsorship market. And like Seth said, I mean, you could make millions of dollars for a grappling match even.
Well, Tom, I was going to ask you this because Seth came to us. He sent me an email.
Cute.
And listen, I could smell a scam when I
leave them alone. They're just children.
Seth sent me an email and said, like, hey, Tom and Dan want to sponsor my pants. And
not only pants, I'll throw also the big ass stupid straw hat thing. I'll wear that into the ring too.
The big stupid straw hat.
What big stupid straw hat? The one that we gave you?
Yeah,
that's a great straw hat.
Oh, I love it. I just like.
What if I sew in a Hogan mullet?
Tom,
I would do that for free.
Because Tom, I
want that anyway to go to the beach.
Let's say in a Bellator or what's another F1 you said?
F1 racing.
I'll take my Schumacher is fighting for the title against Ayrton Senna.
So one sponsorship on a fighter.
Understand any of what you just said, by the way.
They're too old for.
He didn't connect those guys.
I think they're both dead.
But if you're a Bellator fighter and if someone wanted to buy a patch on your shorts, what is the going rate for that? Like, what do you think?
Depends on the show. It depends on how many people are going to watch the show. If it's a bigger
this show
headliner
that we want to buy into.
Lots of people watching.
This is probably
they're going to have a couple thousand people.
Arguably, Tom, this is the greatest venue in Orlando. We've been there. We have a history with it. It's quite possibly the greatest.
I know how much it costs to rent. It's
on the main event as well.
Yeah.
You're the main event.
The main grappling.
By the way, if you want to buy OLE, it's 2 Popeyes chicken sandwiches.
Ironically, that's what my sponsorship deal is too.
So, what are we
I've never tried them yet.
And let's just say, like a Bellator fight, not the main event fight, but like a couple fights before that. I want a patch on someone's shorts. What are we talking here?
Why are you asking him? I went Bellator and actually shopped that. But go ahead,
Tom,
he'll be straight.
I'd say between $1 and $10.
Because now you're talking.
My main short sponsor for all my Bellator fights was $2,500. My main short sponsor. So the main tap out shorts that I wore was $2,500. Everyone else was like $1,000, $1,500 every little patch and nook and cranny.
Now
I don't know about this.
I am familiar with
this. I have to research this.
That's at least that's low. I think actually.
I mean that's me though.
How are you feeling, Tom? Because I'm really into this, but I feel like you're waiting that you don't want to commit the money.
Well, here's the thing. Okay.
Because I'm in.
Yeah. I'm asking for $2,500.
I am familiar with the sponsorship game. I am the head salesperson at TNT Media.
Yeah.
And
president of business.
What I know
about this, I'll beat you up if you don't give me the money. Plain and simple.
Not the robbery.
I'll strong arm you into giving me the money.
Because
I'll do it for $10 less. Sponsor me.
Are you going to be invited?
What is happening right now?
I'm going to go against Seth.
If he called the guy, he could get on the car very easily. To be honest, he's like Tom Lawlor. Yeah, okay.
You can fight my son. You have no idea. Because
Seth has this honesty gene where he can't not say things. He should fucking say it. He's like, if you call the guy right now, he put you on because he's totally anybody on. And I'm like, why are you doing this? You're my friend. Don't do this.
When I say
I have tears in my eyes.
When I said I'd do it, he said, really?
Because I thought that you said you were thinking about it as well. I didn't realize you were also thinking about sponsorship.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
There's certain sponsorships. I believe they do this in NASCAR and other like motocross. Any I question if these brands are wasting their money. Right? Okay, follow me with this because
there's not a big return.
Yeah, like
it's a nice tax write-off.
Yeah, okay. Well, I could donate to charity too. That's at least like
what am I?
Giving money to
I need gas for my Hellcat. My Hellcat.
He doesn't even know how to say it.
This money's going for gas for a douche mobile.
I was about to say tits and ass, and I said Hellcat at the same time. So.
And food for teens.
What do the girls that come to your house eat?
Whatever I eat, I make them eat healthy.
Really?
I'm fucking eating this fucking shit.
Yeah, but they're like, I don't want this.
Like,
This is disgusting.
I'm young. I can eat whatever I want.
No, I'm like, you're going to get older. You need to stay skinny. You're eating this.
Tom Lawlor eats fast food every day. He told me.
He looks healthy.
So
Tom Lawler's so much cooler than you, and he doesn't have fucking turtles.
Because I feel like there would be no way to ever measure if we put you in Tom and Dan spandex or whatever the hell, Tom and Dan's umbrella.
Yeah, what is a grappling gear? What do you wear?
What could that possibly do
I can
for
wear
us?
either short, tight shorts. I can wear long spats. I could wear.
How about a goop? Can you wear?
I can wear tight.
Can you wear a funny outfit?
I can wear a rash guard, like a tight rash guard
Singlet.
I think
singlet.
Oh fuck!
I wore a singlet the last one I did, and people
but
loved it.
I want the one,
the King Kong one,
like muscleman.
We're getting
old school 1920s swim trunks. You
just made me think of something. And we'll go back to the negotiation of your sponsorship, but you guys used to fuck around a lot going into the ring.
That was my favorite.
And,
it was
pissed
my
off UFC, right? They did not like it.
Tell them what you just got. Ranked.
Oh yeah, like it was the one of the walkouts was the number 438th best moment in UFC history.
Not just walkouts
sad.
in UFC history. All of UFC history.
Is there even 438 moments?
I
thought that was.
What kind of list is that? Who the fuck is going down?
Seth on a dog leash. Seth on a dog leash.
Here's what I like, that it's so low.
Yeah, did they go through? What was number 80?
I don't.
How did you even know that? Did they?
It's on Twitter.
Is there a list?
And number 2 is when Tank Abbott diarrheaed his jean shorts. They're like, what were they doing?
Because when Seth was fighting, you were holding the dog leash and walking around.
Oh, it's really good though. Yeah. It is really good.
Weren't you dressed in costumes and a bunch of them too?
No.
I dressed up as Dan Severn.
Yeah, I remember that.
He slapped me around for that. I was the brunt of a lot of the jokes. I was the one degrading myself. He was actually coming.
You really were. You were the straight man a lot of the times.
I don't mind.
Like in all the
anything to get my name out there.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I hear you.
I'm just saying, in all the history of you having these sponsors, did you ever hear any feedback from them? Like, oh yeah, your shorts.
We sold a lot of protein.
I made them
shakes.
lots of money.
Because I just feel like the only reason any companies do this, similar to like NASCAR or whatever these sports advertising, I feel like it's very it's
an ego thing.
They're only doing it so they can be like, that's my company. Look at I don't think it even does anything, right?
I agree with you.
Like if someone saw a Tom and Dan logo on your fight shorts, is that going to like what is that? I'm going to look that up.
It's going to create buzz, and it's going to get back to the show. And it's going to create a lot of content.
It's different. I feel like in order to get more value, you need to be something different. Like if we were a supplement company and we were on the shorts, I don't think it would matter as much. But because we're not, there is a curiosity factor, I think, to it. Not to
people be like, what is that?
I mean, obviously, I'm into this and you're not into this.
He's advertising a gay wedding. That's all we get to.
Everybody thinks we're a gay wedding.
And,
it's been going on for years. Get married already.
Especially if one of you guys walk out with me. Like the entrance.
That's you got to pay us for that. That's an appearance.
What do you want me to dress like?
You can dress like the revolting blob from Billy Madison.
Principal Max Anderson.
Who's going to be at this event? It's not televised, is it?
It's on the internet. Yeah, it'll be televised.
It'll be somebody on streaming on the web.
No, it's
everybody's on the internet.
Well, you guys are popular. You're on the fucking streaming. They're going to stream the same way. Are you guys on TV?
No, we're not.
Okay,
That's
then.
why we're not that rich.
Well,
And our advertising is not that expensive.
Somebody will probably have their phone out.
oh, they were going to
Put it on their Facebook Live.
Twitch.
It's on Mark's Facebook Live.
I'll stream it live from my Instagram.
It's on Mike's weather page.
Check Seth's story.
Just my storyline.
Hey guys, get ready for the big fight.
What's the audience numbers that we're looking at here?
Yeah, we're like 10, 15, 20 people.
Oh no, they have they can make like 2K there, like 2,000 people there.
Yeah, I know.
We know.
Put on
I
an
mean,
event there.
you could fit 2,000 people in this room if you chop them all up and pile the bodies high.
They have before in that for MMA fights there and grappling matches for sure.
Do they have a sound system set up?
This one did before. They have a big screen that projects onto the wall.
Well, we didn't get any of that.
And then it has sound system, and so you see the match too.
They must have been holding out on us.
Well, I mean, it's probably the company.
The company does that.
They didn't trust OLE like we did. They were like, I think we did something. Oh, we got that covered. Then the Jamaican guy with the 2 BAs.
I don't know nothing.
We're like, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we talking here, Seth? Short sponsorship, Tom and Dan.
Well, throw me a number. You guys know what I said. That's the way to do it.
You guys also, it doesn't have to be
$75
shorts, right? Like,
No, we want to be the big dog.
get like a singlet. Like,
I want to be the big dog.
it could be a full. You can wear a full bodysuit.
Now, can we do a full bodysuit?
What if you did?
What do you mean?
Haven't we
Like those green guys that are douchebag green guys at sporting events.
I don't think that's illegal.
Bullshit. Why isn't it? You could wear long pants and a long shirt. Why isn't that legal?
Oh, do it
It's one
full
piece.
green suit and then just cut your ears out.
Because I can't have my hands or feet. I can't have my hands or feet covered.
You have your ears.
I really wanted to have my shirt off too.
Okay, so full green suit.
I was thinking about inviting.
What is it about? Is it about the sponsorship, or are you walking around with your shirt off?
Vanity or money?
Just cut out the stomach on the shirt. I could have a diamond to show off.
And what if you lose? Can I get my money back? Because it's not as good.
Yeah.
You still get the advertising. Huh?
Yeah, but now it's negative.
Who's sponsoring the?
People feel bad for me and go to the website and be like, oh, that guy lost. I should. Especially it's me.
We'll
Who's
go to the gay
sponsoring the
wedding.
fat dad that you're fighting?
I have no clue. I don't talk to that guy. I hate him until the fight.
Should we
Why
reach
do you
out
hate
to him?
He's just trying to have some fun.
Should we reach
sponsor
out to
him.
and see if should we sponsor him?
Hold on,
No, fuck that. I'm not telling you his name.
Oh, no. Well, we can find it.
Look, I'm not. I've been saving that one. That's the
that'd
first
be
thing I
great.
thought of.
He trains at Daytona. That's all I'm going to say.
OLEshitfight.com.
Fuck off.
I'm just joking.
Oh my god! I'm gonna buy that and I'm gonna redirect it to send it to real.
I feel inspired now that Tom's here because I feel like if Seth attacked me,
Well, you
He's your
feel like
bodyguard,
your
he's your
bully
fucking-
partner is your bully buddy.
he likes it. I see it in his eyes.
No, you guys can let me wear whatever. But
I wanna
wanna
go
be able-
see this.
I want to be able to perform too, and I would rather be in either long spats are okay, long tights are okay, but I'd rather be, if you want me in a shirt, a rash guard so my sleeve, because I like to have my forearms exposed because it's a little slippier. I like that little.
Can we can you henna tattoo a sponsor?
That's
in there?
fine, yeah, why
There's
not?
no rules in this thing.
No, not this.
What? It's just,
I could go out there with fucking vampire fangs. I don't know why I thought of that, but I'm pretty sure.
all right, December 21st. Is it the?
Do you want me to tell you the website?
Winter Fight
There it is.
Fest?
That's it. Yes,
All
Winter
right,
Fight.
here we are.
Oh, there it is.
Lilo Code.
Yes.
Lilo?
Lilo code.
Lilo Code. And then Lilo
Who
Code.
does their
live
flyers?
MMA.
Obviously, the same guy.
Yeah, their flyer is apparently who does this is Master P's brother.
It's actually one of our friends. It's Crowdsurf Murph did that.
No way.
Murph did that.
It's
Master T.
It looks
A lot of
very
things
much
overlapping
like,
here.
It looks very much like C Murder's album cover.
the graphic designer for the Orlando Predators.
Who is this guy?
It's Silk the Shocker.
Who is this?
Is this the guy you're fighting?
I can't see it.
Who's this guy?
Why is there flames in the background? And it's like,
I think that's
your company.
I think that's Shannon the Cannon.
Shannon the Cannon.
I think that's Shannon the
my porn
Cannon.
name.
It does say canon approved.
Who's Shannon?
Sending you guys an
MMA
updated
fighter.
flyer.
He's been around for. He's got like 900 fights.
Oh my God! Is that the guy you're fighting, Shannon the Cannon?
No.
Okay, I'm looking at the guy. I don't see anything about Seth on here.
Oh,
but
look at that snowman.
douche snowman.
How's Seth dressed like that? How's Seth dressed like
a douche snowman? I put it on the Twitch camera.
Why'd they put the douche snowman on the flyer?
This was the last flyer he made, and there is the douche snowman down there. That's me with the douche snowman.
So it's Seth, the douche snowman.
Oh, wait, is that on? Can I turn that? So
yeah, here.
I like how they're putting together the marketing for the fight. They're like, put the snowman in everything. Like, that's the mascot.
Oh my God.
We need the angry snowman.
All right. So it's settled. What did we figure out?
Well, we figured out nothing.
No, you guys are gonna give me a number. Give me a number. You guys can figure out what I want to wear. Like, what you want me to wear is inconsequential at this point.
Well, we'll order it.
Are you sure this is real? I don't see this on the OLE events.
Are they catfishing? Is this MMA catfish? You show up.
It's real.
Nev's going to be hanging out
How
there.
come it doesn't have the lineup of who's fighting that night?
That's December 21st. They haven't announced it. He said he's going to announce it very like everything's not put together. He's still putting the card together.
Oh, it's not
Maybe I'm gonna say
happening.
like a week or two. They'll have the entire card and they'll announce it. It'll be on the website and stuff like that. It's too far behind. They're having another event I think this weekend or something like that. So they're.
We'll see. I think we'll sponsor it in one way or the other. I want to go out to the fight. It's near my house.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
Let's get a bunch of BDMs.
Are you a sitter? Yeah, seriously.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'll give you. How about this? I'll throw in 2 VIP tickets for each of you.
What's that?
No.
Do I get this?
I can only go if I go topless, right? Is that the deal?
Oh,
I was about to say ring card girl or something like that.
It's VIP in the blood bathroom, but
it's in those cushy little freaking seats. You know?
the ones that come on.
Yeah.
we sold those VIPs before.
Man.
Our listeners are super happy about it.
They're like, this is disgusting. Let's go steal the highlight jerseys from the bathroom. Riot!
Plus, here's a fun fact. When you go to OLE and you stand in the beer line, they're going to give you one line to get your beer, and then you go to the next line to pay. Just get your beer and walk away.
That's what all our listeners
Never
they do.
Yeah. They hand you a beer, then they go to this line to pay, please, and then you go, yeah, fuck off. And then you just walk away.
No way, I didn't know that. Really? That's pretty cool.
I mean, unless they change.
I think we're doing a lot of help here.
Someone in waste management services owns that place. I'm just saying. It's been around for way too long. Something's happening.
Yeah, something is happening.
I don't know what's happening, but something. Anyway, Tom, you got anything to plug? You want to tell our audience about anything coming up?
Yeah, he's sitting right next to me.
Seth. Seth's fight.
Plug him right
No,
in
that's
his
what I
anus.
want to plug.
That's what I want to plug.
Oh, okay.
I got that.
Tomorrow, I'll be wrestling at Guilt Nightclub, doing some professional wrestling action for Major League Wrestling.
Oh, cool.
Do you have a
Tomorrow
wrestling
afternoon.
name other than what you are, or do you
No.
go with the MMA, like I'm a trained fighter gimmick?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It's just real life. I'm training for life.
No Prince Pepperoni.
We tagged for a little, like we did
Pepperoni
we did our
aisles.
They didn't like our ideas of what we had for our.
What were you?
camaraderie.
Or you were just Tom Lawlor?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
So it's
And
Prince Pepperoni and
I wasn't Prince Pepperoni. Prince Pepperoni is a separate thing that I do for.
Does he know about that?
For the custom.
For old rich men.
For the custom
For the custom
video.
Prince Pepperoni. Jesus.
He's just seen it, Tom.
Is it vegan? sausage
I
too?
should be vegan Prince.
Vegan pepperoni.
He bought real pepperoni.
Did you see that he came out and he wrestled a woman that he said was a hippo? Did you see any of this that he did for us?
Did you hear about all that? When
I think, was that downtown?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
downtown.
yeah.
I did see that.
It was
It's
very
fucking
embarrassing.
Oh my God, we were embarrassed. We're like,
It was on a lot of wrestling.
We're like,
websites
why did he
talking
want to
shit
do
about that match.
this?
This is why wrestling's falling apart. Matches like this. How dare you guys do something like this? It's like, fuck off. What?
Oh, they were mad about
Oh,
it?
they were mad about
Oh,
it.
you should have told us. And we could have him on the show.
Don't these guys usually wrestle in some like VFW in front of nobody? I mean, we have the whole
Yeah, we
downtown.
had a shit ton of people.
This guy's good. He said we docked to tag in.
Oh yeah. Who's uncircumcised? Anyone? Anyone? It's gonna be hard. You gotta be uncircumcised.
I think how
to eat
filthy Tom
another
Lawler's
penis.
gross to be like, ugh.
I don't do that, bro. I only do python jerky.
It's disgusting.
Python shirt.
All right.
We got to get out of here.
Yeah. Samantha, plug your podcast.
SemanticsPodcast.com.
This snake jerky made me sick.
Really?
Stinks, yeah, it's gross, dude. It hurt my stomach the entire show, and I'm like, I'm fucking sick by
Well,
it.
blame it
It's
on
gross.
that cracker ass cracker this whole time.
Again, if you buy a gift card from melissasoroka.com, that's SURROCA.com, and send me the proof that you bought a gift card, I will send you some sort of prize from our merch website.
I feel like that should have been a little more thought out.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought of it today. I was like, if you buy the gift cards, email
we'll send
me,
you something good.
and I'll send you something. Again, our events are November 23rd and 24th coming up.
Yep, the Beer Fest. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. We're always on Twitch. This will be out in a couple of days. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it, and we will see you next week.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.
And now it's time for the Tom and Dan end of the show footnotes. Today you heard music from
Suck Brick Kid. You can look them up on the old Facebooks, but these cats are from Orlando, of all places, and they're pretty fucking rad. Like, really, really good. From their debut full-length album that was released on October 25th, entitled Salt to Taste, you heard Sofa King. Snag this record from Smart Punk and support local guys doing big things. We've played Jane Holiday on the show before, and I'm still just feeling this guy's vibe. It's super LA, mega funky, and from his debut EP out now, it's definitely worth snagging. From the Still Ill EP, you heard the track Living. Icons of the Los Angeles underground, the Growlers have released a much-anticipated new album entitled Natural Affair. These guys are selling out pretty much anything they touch. They're fresh off of their big, like, doom, emo, super amazing Halloween show that they sold out in LA. And they're just no end in sight for these cats. They self-produced their album. They're currently out on a world tour. No, they do not come here. You heard the song Long Hot Night, and let's hope for a few less of those as weather gets cooler. Spoken like a true old man. We closed out the show with new music from the always outspoken Anti-Flag. Looks like these punk rockers are going to have a new album out in January, and this is just their first single. From the forthcoming 2020 Vision album, you heard the single Hate Conquers All. And on that politically charged moment, we'll see you next week.